Hey. Hey. What's up, good people?
Tyler, wake up. Wake up. We're getting out of here.
Hey. What's up, good people? Welcome.
Stay with me. We're almost there.
Hopefully your afternoon is going amazingly. I would have needed that knife. It's a key. I'm watching this movie on Prime. Something about to happen with this guy here.
3.
What is this called? It's almost over. Escape the Field on Prime. Not terrible. Not terrible. I don't mind it. Like it's a maze they have to escape from. A cornfield maze there, and they have to escape from. Did y'all watch the Housewives yesterday? What's she about to do? Set it on fire. We talk about whoever we want to talk about. I just came on just to see what the people are talking about, what the people are. What's on your mind? What's on the people's mind? If you watch some of my videos, hey Diligent, if you watch my videos, you know we could definitely talk about that. I was surprised to see Monique say she, not surprised, because I did just finish saying how they was going to be together, because I just see them being together. Because why leave Chris? And Chris ain't going to find nobody like Monique. Not like Monique. And so then she does that, and I'm just like, oh Lord, now I got to add them to the list. And I was about to put together a whole list, because I still got to add Stevie J and them to the mix. And sure enough, I'd have been pissed. Yeah, I'm glad they're together. I would have been pissed if I put a video together and she would have released that out. I probably would have commented on that video. But I'm glad they're together. I was shocked to see that they had broke up, that it was said that they broke up, but I don't see them breaking up. Why? Hey you guys, welcome to the room. Drop down in the comments, let me know what you want to talk about. We cover all things over here, but I did just post a couple videos. We could talk about that too. Housewives and such. How about can you put it outlaw? Also for Nene to return to Housewives. Shit. These people is dying left and right on this thing. That was interesting. Dare I say, Kenya looked forced to say something like that? Dare I say, with Nene offering up her son and dropping that business, that she opens herself up to being back on the show? Dare I even say, we don't even need it? Dare I say? Very, very interesting that Kenya said that. But at the same time, still is dragging Marlo. So I don't want to see 2 against 1. I don't want to see that 3 against 1. If Candy's gonna be on their side. And Nene got a lot to talk about. They don't gotta be sad. Hopefully her son is fine and he pulls through and everything. But I'm not trying to see no story based around that. I would love to see a story based around her in the damn Lenithia Lounge. Her day-to-days. But no, they don't give us the good stuff. They make us suffer through. So we'll see. I mean, they barely on their way out. Maybe they had to kill him. In the beginning, the first episode, I did a video. I said, the end of an era. And the season seemed to have shaped up all right. But I mean, I don't know what they plan on doing with bringing Nene back. Portia too, Phaedra, Deshawn, Lisa, Kim. If they bring Nene back, you got to bring Kim back. But hopefully, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want this new Nene, I don't know, stressed, impressed. I don't know. I don't even know. I'm all right with Nene not being on the show. I want her to be out in the streets doing the things, you know what I'm saying? You paved the way, you work so hard to get the show together, to get yourself on TV, to get yourself in rooms, you know what I'm saying? Hobnobbing and elbow rubbing. And now you're doubling back. What is that? In the world? It's over. I don't know what that was. I don't know how that ended. But it did. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know if that's what I want to see from Beverly from Atlanta Housewives. But what can we do? What can we do? But I definitely saw that. I finished watching. I just watched, before I watched this movie, I just watched Watch What Happens Live, and they were at BravoCon. And it was just too much going on. Bringing in 180 people, something out on the stage, it's just too much. What housewife really went on to bigger and better things? You know, Candy stay bringing a check in. Lisa Vanderpump has bigger and better things. Bethany Frankel has gone on to do bigger and better things. I'm sure there's some other ones maybe that I'm not too familiar with, but a lot of them are fine being on the show. Hey, Nurse Coco, Contour 33, welcome to the family. Hello, happy to have you. A lot of them, some of them do go on, but some of them are fine with being on the show, and they don't do all this. Connie, welcome. They're not out here shaking and, opening this and opening that and doing this and doing that. No, they're on the show. You know what I mean? Much like the girls in Beverly Hills, who just already have their things going and moving, and then they introduce it on the show, and then they're just fine doing all this, not doing things outside of the show. Sexy Mona, welcome. Welcome to the sexy gang. You found your home. So, we'll see. Atlanta, they need to shake up Atlanta the same way they shook it up in New York. I was looking at that new cast. Let me look that up for y'all. I was looking at that new cast in New York. Honey, I think I know no one. I barely know. I feel like I might have seen that black one somewhere so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like I've seen that black girl maybe somewhere before, maybe, but I don't recognize nobody. But also, I don't watch New York. Right. That's true. But like I said, you get the Vanderpumps and the Frankels and like I said, Candy always is, something new. Every season, she got a new product coming out, and they really monopolize off of that. Okay, one, Jenna Lyons, she was the J. Crew executive. So she's going to bring the styles and the fashions to New York, I'm assuming. Should I click on that one? I also got to watch that Barney doc. Do y'all got Amazon Prime? Are y'all watching that Barney doc? Do y'all care about that? I will definitely be tuning into that. That's my era. Um, so we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. And of course, they know that we're going to be tuned in. Her name is, there's a Sai Del Silva, Uba Hassan, Aaron Dana Licky, Lisa Savetsky, Jessel Tank, and Bryn Whitfield. I don't know none of them names. I don't know none of them. That's the new Roni cast. Let me get everybody in there. That's the new Roni cast. And child, I don't know nobody. That's another reason why I didn't watch New York, because I didn't know nobody. I guess I didn't know nobody on Atlanta either, and maybe I just watched them because they was black. Jill Ben Simone when she was on there, just because Kelly Ben Simone, the photographer, her name was Kelly. Her name was Jill. Either way, Ben Simone is the photographer. I know that, and that's all I had for New York. No, I completely agree with that. When Kevin Hart did the House Husbands, I was like, this is the concept. Men would have to do so much more, and you'd fare better getting some gay men, which could be like gay husbands, because lots of these women have gay husbands, in the playful sense, um, in the figurative sense. But men, they would be working. Imagine like if they did the men on, or they'd always be selling something, and I don't have time for that. Imagine if the men, who they have the best cast of men on Married to Medicine, if they did a show by themselves, we loved them, but it would be boring. What are y'all doing besides working and drinking and smoking cigars? So, when House Husbands with Kevin Hart, it was very dramatic and, escalated situations and that sort of thing. So I don't know. But maybe some gay guys who are dipping and doing it, at the functions and at the dinners, and friends with the girls that we know, who don't necessarily want to be on the show, on a show. That's the type of route they would have to go down. And when it comes to that, I'm all about representation. I don't need it to be overly, I can't say, I got to be careful with the wording, because they'll ban me for hateful speech. Thank you guys for the likes. Shout out to y'all. They'll ban me. But not too homosexual, you know what I mean? But guys who live eventful and interesting lives, who just happen to be homosexual. You understand? The straight men, don't nobody want to watch no straight men unless they got balls in their hands. Even well, not always, but they weren't all gay. But that when Little Kim had that show on the yacht with Tom Ford's husband, or somebody's husband. I didn't watch LLG. What did they do as far as like being in the restaurant? That's like, they could do. I mean, yeah, because that's kind of like it's a mix with like Pump or Vanderpump Rules. It's a lot of men on there, and people appreciate that sort of thing. So if that were to, but that's just a regular old show. We do something reality. I want to see you outside of your work, or I should say, not just at work. Um, I don't know. I never watched OLG. Okay, and they was friends. We'll see. We'll see. It's been a long time in the making. I'm surprised they haven't, especially when Kevin did that. I'm surprised nobody jumped on that type of concept. But I'm sure that's the biggest thing would be casting. And then what they do, granted, it's not like a Housewives thing, but they end up fucking around and gave us that Bad Boys, which was terrible representation. But people liked it that. I don't subscribe to that type of content. But the people have liked it that. So I don't know. casting is where we're at. It would be nice to see. I would just like to see any new concept for programming, fresh new idea, fresh take, something instead of all these remakes. I see they're about to make which I will watch, but I see they're about to remake Death Becomes Her with Goldie's daughter and Annie Hathaway. She's gonna do Meryl Streep's role. Yes, I am tired of remakes, but equally, I love Death Becomes Her. So of course I'll watch, and plus I love Annie Hathaway, and it'll be nice for Kate to redo her mother's role. That'll be nice, sweet. Hope I'm sure they'll do it justice because they were good in not 17 Dresses, My Bridesmaids, My Best Friend's Wedding, or something like that. They were in together, and that's probably why they chose them because of their the chemistry between them. Not to mention, Goldie Hawn and Kate Hudson, but that sort of thing. But yeah, I would like to see a fresh new idea, and if you can get a group of men together to show men how to make money, to show men how to have conversations, to show men how to be in relationships and things like that. I shouldn't say to show, but to display how men, that sort of thing. They don't be wanting, unless you're watching $1 Billion Listing or a History Channel or something, they don't really be wanting to teach people good stuff, insightful information, fruitful information. This is just catty and messy and dramatic. And that's why they're bringing Nene's ass back. And if they listen, I don't know what they're gonna do with Marlo. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like I said, Kenya advocating for Nene to come back. Let me get this out, then I'll say what I was just thinking. Kenya advocating for Nene to come back. Then Nene gets back on the show, and she picks up her friendship with Marlo. Now Nene's arguing with Kenya because Kenya's arguing with Marlo, or Nene's fine with both of them, and then Marlo has a problem because she's fine, or Kenya has a problem because she's. Or the thought that I just had is, then Kenya says eventually on the one episode of her Watch What Happens Live, after Nene been on there, oh well, I just want her on there because that's good TV, but I still can't stand her. Like, you see how I just predicted all that? I don't want it to be predictable that way. It's not what I desire. But this television shit is out of our hands. We're just there for consumption and rhetoric. That's why I have my videos up. Beverly Hills. Who was gone? Lisa gone? Lisa's gone, and who else is gone? Which I'm surprised. I'm not surprised, I'm pleased. I am pleased because it's just time for a shakeup. But I said Kyle need to be going too. And it's no shade, it's just tea. It's the honest truth. I don't have no problem with Kyle, but this season just showed her just not in the right way. And she wasn't backing down in it. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, she owned it, like Lisa Rinna said, which got tiring because it's just like Erica, Yeah, I said it. Oh, and I'm just, to know you're doing something wrong, to know you're being rude, disrespectful, unkind, and then to just throw that, oh, I'm sorry, I know I did, I'm sorry. To throw that over it, I mean, it just doesn't work that way. Power mothers, that's a nice idea. Evelyn Braxton. Evelyn probably don't like, I don't think none of them like Mama Joyce. Mama Joyce gonna act like she better than everybody. Mama D gonna punch somebody. Sonia not gonna talk to nobody. And Evelyn gonna try to pray. Meanwhile, she gonna be reading people for filth. So that's how that would go. But power mothers, getting up there telling them secrets of how they created those, especially Sonia Norwood. Especially Sonia Norwood. What is this about Brandy got a damn cognac? Let me look that up because I was like, get the fuck out of here. Wasn't she just trying? Didn't she just have a seizure? I don't know how anybody is cutting grass and the grass is good and wet, okay? Good and wet. Brandy Norwood. Brandy. Brandy alcohol. Brandy. Hey, Holly. Brandy was hospitalized just 5 days ago. 2 days ago, she dresses casually in a sweater. She looked real stripped down. Maybe she got her nose done. Hey, Nella, thanks. Welcome. How are you? Thank you for the flower. It looked like she got a little something done. Brandy looks in good spirits as she dresses casually in gray sweater and matching sweatpants during first public outing after hospitalization for possible seizure. They did that, not me. Brandy is 43. She cut a relaxed figure in Los Angeles on Saturday in her first public outing since having a possible seizure at her home. The singer-songwriter stepped out in a gray matching sweater, added a blue head wrap to her relaxed look. She definitely got her nose done. The I Want to Be Down singer carried a black shoulder bag at the CVS. Celebrities kill me going to the CVS. Just barely look like her. Look at her. She got the glasses on. Can you tell she got her nose done? Can y'all see it like I see it? She got something else. She got something done here. Brandy looks very young here. Definitely the nose. A little Botox. Y'all want to see it again? A little Botox. Let me get this filter off there because it's distracting from my message. Then I'll throw it back on. Brandy looked like she about 26. She always been youthful, but I mean, fresh from a possible seizure, a nip here and a tuck there. She got the hands. So that's that. She looked very good. She cut her lips, a smile, appearance. I'm gonna have an appearance. I'll be at the CVS. My thing is, where are the pictures of her going to the CVS? Then be the images I want to see. How did she get there? I know y'all got her coming out. How did she get there? You know she got that Botox. She ain't even squinting on that damn filter. Squinting on the side there. You see that? You see that? Oh, come on now. Ain't got a crease in the world. Listen, when I make my TV debut, all of this gonna be gone, okay? All of that. So I ain't mad a little Botox. This is on October 11th. She was dehydrated before, back in the early 2000s, I think. I want to say Brandy was the first person I heard, as far as celebrities go, be dehydrated, be hospitalized for dehydration. I want to say. So that's the thing. And like I said, her and Ray J both was struggling. And now Ray J's with Kanye and Brandy's at the CVS. Thank God for small favors. Now, look her. Stella Rosa This is September 11th. Are y'all with me here? Are you here? Are you? I'm a hairstylist. Are you hairstylists? What's the question? Sipping on some brandy, listening to some brandy, the vocal Bible singer has teamed up with Stella Rosa for a partnership that will release her own signature brandy cocktail named B Rocka by Brandy. The name is inspired singer rapper blah 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 blah. Stella Rosa. I remember when Jay-Z said he didn't want to support liquor. And he probably just didn't want to support Budweiser. I think that was for a Super Bowl commercial. He said something like, I don't want to promote liquor because the kids was going to watch this. So let me just string a thread. I don't want to promote this because kids are going to watch it. The liquor. He didn't want to promote the liquor because the kids are going to watch the liquor. I am a hairstylist, yes. And then he comes out with Ace of Spades and then Douce. Everybody has a liquor. And people are involved in other people's liquor brands, a la 818 and that it's Eva Longoria's brand, but everybody's in on it. So Eva Longoria and the Hiltons in bed together. Cut to, or let's remember Kanye when he put everybody in that bed together. And then I watched that Kanye interview with Drink Champs just recently, just the one they just put out, Yay 3. And Kanye owns 95% of Yeezy. Kim owns 5% of Yeezy, and that's why you still continue to see Kim in Yeezy. Because if you see me, you buy it, you pay for it, and that's money for me and the kids, which Kanye gave her. Kanye has 5% of Skims. But Jared Kushner, Josh Kushner, has 10. Which makes me think Kim will probably sell Skims in a year or so, make another 10 billion off of that, if not more. Because if you're giving away 10 and Kanye only has 5, you don't really care about the brand that way. Does that make sense? So that was interesting. Kanye says a lot of interesting things, and he says a lot of silly things. He was turning me off in his misogynistic kind of ways, and I don't want to justify that. I get it, but I don't want to justify it because it's a bit disgusting. But he's not the only one to be like that, and not because he's black will I make his actions any worse than anybody else's who's not black, who does it very, very often, and sometimes even secretly. And sometimes you got to be thankful or respect the person that's outward in your face. So there's that. So now Brandy's got a liquor. I say all that to say Brandy got liquor too now. And I don't know. Who's buying that? I don't know. Maybe if they got a taste testing at the liquor store, I'll get some. Just a taste. And she has a movie coming out? When is this? It's always something. So there's that. Are y'all having an alright kind of day? I think I'm tired. I did just eat. I made Rasta pasta yesterday. I should have made a video, but I was watching the Kanye thing and cooking, so I couldn't do the recording thing at the same time. But I made Rasta pasta yesterday, and that's what I had. About 4 bowls. Don't judge me. There were small bowls. 4 bowls, and now I think I got the itis. But I said, let me just get on and see what my people are doing. See if they tuned into a video or two. Andy said he ain't leaving the show, which is nice because I just don't know who would even replace that except me. Yeah, I don't know who else would do that. Billions of snow crab have disappeared from the waters around Alaska. Scientists say overfishing is not the cause. How did the snow crabs disappear? Shortages have been going on all year, and now we're at the point of there's no crabs. Maybe they're gonna stimulate us again, but we ain't got no crabs to buy this time. She wanted to know if I was a hairstylist. Was she reading me? I got some conditioner in my hair. That lets you know I'm a hairstylist because I'm pre-treating, deep conditioning, if you will. Was that a read? When is this Ultimate Girls Trip coming on? I wonder. Let me check and see. Because I do like that Ultimate Girls Trip. Because it's just different and it's a mix-up. They could do that. They can cut them down. They don't have to bring on no new cities. Just mix up the girls and send them somewhere. Was y'all with me when I told y'all that somebody said something about Olivia getting called for Housewives of Dubai? Yes, I thought you loved me in December, Olivia. Ciao. I don't want to see nobody's Olivia. Oh, not till 2023. Not until the girls, what is this? This was Best Friends Girl, Ultimate Girls Trip in Turks and Caicos. But that's not coming out till next year. I thought you loved me in December. I remember. What else is going on, guys? Hey, G Kills. Hey, hey, hey. How are you? Glad to see you here. Double tap the screen. What do y'all feel about Sister Act 3? I mean, it's been 40 years. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. Tyler Perry got something to do with it, don't he? I don't want to see Whoopi in a habit. Yep, Tyler Perry. I told y'all he just be getting the calls. I did move. He just be getting the calls and showing up and putting his money on something. I told you I gotta stop talking about Tyler Perry because he's gonna call me. And I'm gonna be there. And Kiki Palmer. And Nicki Minaj is gonna be in it. And get the script by the end of the month. She said hopefully we'll get it together and get it done sooner rather than later. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know what Tyler. I guess Tyler Perry. He could put the songs together, and but I don't need him. I told you I'm not going to talk about Tyler, but we'll see what happens. If they just now getting the scripts at the end of the month, I'm sure we're not going to see this till maybe fall of next year. It would be a nice Christmas movie. They could do a nice Christmas theme. Did I tell you I'm trying to get a Jasmine Sullivan Christmas album? Wouldn't that be something? Hello, hello, Rich and Skin. You know, we get beautiful when we get together. It's the pretty game. Wouldn't that be amazing for the people? Somebody get Jasmine on the line. Her and Mariah Carey. Might as well. Might as well. Might as well. You can get hearing aids over the counter. Who's new? Jasmine Sullivan's new album? The latest. I'm about to say new. Where was I? Um, yeah, listen. I just love her. I just love her. And if she just sang me a Christmas song, something new, she could do a couple renditions. Um, I could hear her singing "Hang Low, the Mistletoe." I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. I could. She could do a couple classics, but I need her to get me something she come up with in the shower, because she probably do her best singing in the shower. So I'm looking out for that. I'm expecting that. I'm looking to see what's the topic to talk about. I'm just running through. You know how I do. Y'all know how I do. I need to go get my other phone, because I don't have no apps on here. Hang on the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. I'm singing the Chris Brown version in my head. And I just can't do that right now, because that food put me down. Trevor Kavanaugh. Let me tell y'all this. I'm working on more videos. Yeah, I want the Yandy Smith. I'm working on Yandy Smith. Pat Houston. I'm working on the Pat Houston. And the thing is, one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. Chris and Monique, and they used divorce from what did Ashley say? And Natasha said something about Ashley said something in Bravo, kind of talking about Monique is going through something, and she alluded to a separation, and then Shade Room, Baller Alert, one of them, maybe both of them, said that they had broke up, a source confirmed, and then the next day, after hiking all day, her and Chris is still sitting there. But the thing is, she still got the ring on her finger, which doesn't mean you're necessarily not divorcing. That just means you ain't took your ring off yet. But like I said in my video, she's just trying to promote things, and this is just where we are. That you put your marriage up on the chopping block. But if Nene putting her son in the hospital to get back on at Bravo, anybody's liable to do anything. And if Monique is doing whatever she's doing for Huntsville, maybe, I don't know how they shoot. I don't know when they shoot. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I didn't hear about that Ashley thing until today. I didn't see the Monique thing. I think I just saw that the first time. I think I just saw that yesterday. And then I saw her thing today, her video about it. So I'm not really sure. BravoCon is a mess. Just a messy, messy, messy thing. And seeing people was cussing Kenya's ass out. It was just a messy, messy, messy thing. And it's a shame they got to subject themselves to that. But if that's what the people are doing to get where they need to get to, or get the shows watched the way they need to get the shows watched, we'll see. But I can't see her being on, just like, this is her first season on Love and Marriage Huntsville, wasn't it? So I don't know why she would go on and get divorced. That didn't make sense. That didn't make sense to me. But who am I, other than Linda Kelly? You know what I need to make a video on? And nobody talks about it. This a football player just died. Something, and they all young. I don't think any of the football players that have died this year were over, except like the older ones, which was probably one. But all the football players that have died this year have been like under 30. And it's been at least 6, if not 10. Because it's been at least one a month. And I think that's really fucking interesting. How I make it make sense and make it a little more interesting to people who think people just die. I have to put it all together. But 10 black football players at that, young black football players, that's a bit upsetting for me. So be on the lookout for that video as well. Be on the lookout. Speaking of being on the lookout, and good news, I guess you could say it's good news. Toya got married. I didn't even know maybe I didn't know that they had got engaged exactly, but I knew that they was together. I didn't know if they had got engaged. I definitely didn't know they had set a date for a marriage. But it was a beautiful ceremony. Everybody looked absolutely stunning. Everybody loved that dress Portia had on. Loved all the dresses that they wore. Toya looked nice in her ceremony, and she looked nice in her after dress, her reception dress. Absolutely stunning. He looked nice. Everybody just looked fucking nice. Monietta and Monica, Rashida, in the bridal party, what's she called? The bride tribe. Lovely, absolutely lovely, which will spark a new series of mine. Like I need to add any more series. I'm lightly overwhelmed, especially with that Chrissy video. The people have overwhelmed me with suggestions, which is why I'm working on the Yandy video and then Charlie Baltimore and whatever. Also, people are making the one girl she just did a video on me. I'm gonna try to keep it classy as I can, and I'm just gonna be a consonant classy thing. A little trashy, always classy though. She stitched my video and was like, I know these celebrities live, I know it verbatim, right? I know these celebrities, put their lives out there, but why do people take the time to research people's business? Like, and then she said, what did she say? Something like, do we need to go back into, what did you say? Do we need to go back into you booty bumping on niggas? I was screaming in here. I was screaming in this very position. I was screaming, watching that girl slander me in her video for likes and views. Because she was like, do you go through people's life for likes and views? Do you stitch things for likes and views? It's the same concept. So I thought that was rather funny. But yeah, the people are responding and still to that Chrissy video. And I appreciate all the support. Like I said, it started with Marjorie Harvey. It didn't start with Chrissy. That Chrissy video has legs and wings, honey. And Marjorie just creeping along. But it's about relevance, I think, to Chrissy is more relevant to my family base, or at least what the people are searching over Marjorie, So that's what that is. Also, I do think the Chrissy video is a little bit more comical. I think that people like the, excuse me, I told you I had 4 bowls. A bit more comical. So that's that. But even still, I never know. I had no idea. Girl, listen. Took the time. Maybe it'll come across your For You page. Why do people, for likes and views and what you said, we got to look into him booty bumping on nigga? I hollered, okay? Booty bumping. Listen, all that. Listen. I know it's fair. It's all fair game. That's why I always try to keep it classy, but a little trashy, but keep it classy. Then you don't have to worry about things coming back and, biting you in the ass. Of course, some things will come out or whatever. Who knows? I don't know. There's, nothing major. There's no skeletons like that. But one time, I think a guy came on here and he was like, I know you. I think I know you. And then his name was our area code. So maybe he did. But at the same time, too, I left you with a good taste in your mouth. So I would hope somebody wouldn't get on here and be thrashing and trashing me just for the hell of it. And I thought in the Chrissy video, I was reporting, like it wasn't like a, this done, that. I didn't do, that wasn't the angle at all. That's never my angle in the videos. It's just, this is the information, like the Joe Biden video. Hey, Brenna, the breast milk lady, the breast milk maid lady. Welcome. Definitely for the show. And I'm going to get into all that, definitely coming up with that. And I realized too, as I'm looking up stuff for Yandy, they just have different stories. So I'm looking for the exciting bits. Yandy didn't grow up like Chrissy, with the, yes. Yandy didn't grow up like Chrissy, so she didn't have to, thug it out and with the drug dealers and things like that. Yandy was a scholar, you know what I mean? She went to school. She had professional ambitions, and she had Mona as a mentor. So that's the route she took. So as I'm looking at it, like, just hopefully the people respond with this. I would like the same result. Of course, I'm on TikTok. I told myself, welcome to the new people. What I've said is like, when I get on TikTok, I'm not going to be down here dancing. Yeah, that's not what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I would like to do something meaningful, impactful to some degree, But at the same time, too, people are encouraged by Chrissy's story because they identify with her experience, what I'm saying, her upbringing, her situation, and things like that. So what is impactful is relative. It depends on who's receiving the information. The overwhelming response for Chrissy in a positive way, so that's that. But yeah, Yandy, yeah, she just she did things her way, like Quad says. She's Frank Sinatra today. Can't believe Quad said that. I couldn't imagine, first of all, something that's really kind of calmed her down more than what she was. I honestly just think that they really don't give Quad too much time to talk unless she's like taking those soliloquies. But I couldn't imagine being in real life and just being amongst her, just go, I would be like, girl, all right, okay, all right, enough. Had to switch from your business page. TikTok be trying to silence me, but not since that Chrissy video. Things have really been all right, and I'm thankful for that. And validated in the sense that friends of mine have been like, this is you've always been like this. You've always been with the celebrity info, and now here's a platform to share it. And I'm thinking people know some of these things. You know what I mean? When, like I said, my first video that went viral was with Beyonce and the $145,000 wig. I'm thinking people know that. Granted, it's old, it's vintage tea. Hey Henry, what are we talking about? Everything. It's vintage tea, but the people don't know, and also it's a younger demographic on here. People have no idea. They had no idea on that. Even with the Chrissy video, people were like, I had no idea about Chrissy, no idea. Glad you found my page, because here we are talking about Joe Byron, Jojo Robbie, if you will. People didn't know that his wife died like that, and the 1-year-old daughter died. They had no idea. When I dropped this video, because I teased in the one video, when I get into that, people have no idea about those things. I'm here to tell you. You know about Beyonce wig? I mean, a true Beyonce fan of a certain age knows that story. And I didn't drop it like it was my story. I gave the credit where the credit was. You know what I mean? And I didn't think that it would go around like that. The girl asked, because I talk about Beyonce's work, I said, at the Super Bowl, I said, Beyonce looked like she got a lot of, I said, Beyonce dressed real basic, quality, of course, but it's real basic, but you can get her clothes. One thing you can't get that Beyonce wears is the hair and the jewelry. And the girl was like, well, where the hell did she get that hair? And I said, well, here is my time to tell you what I know. You know, as far as anybody knows about Beyonce's hair, that's as good as it gets. You know who does it, but you don't know where it comes from exactly. So then I put that video together. No intentions on, always custom, fully laced, cut and measured just an inch behind the hairline. You know what I mean? That level of custom. And when it comes to $145,000, I could break it down for you. Let me know if you want me to break it. Because people are like, that's so much to spend on money. If you don't know how to blow $1,000, you have no idea how somebody spends $145,000. Also, people with the same thing with like a Birkin, you know what I mean, don't understand the value or the appreciation, the resale value of it. But I put that out. I had no idea people were it was gonna go into a whole. I had no idea. No idea. My hair barely damn done in the damn video. I'm sitting here talking about Beyonce's wig. Had no idea. You know what I mean? That they would be received that way. Thank you so much. Did you know Jojo Rabbie is Storm Thurmond, a super bigot? I don't know if I could say that word on here. Who's Joe Mentor? Jojo Rabbie? I gotta look that up. Even when you did the video about her alleged stepchildren. Right. And that, I mean, like, that's old news. You know, Solange's baby father. I do. No, I wish I did. And that's the thing, I don't know, no insider. And my, you know, the way I find my information is no different than the way you could fact check the facts I'm presenting. You know, you could, I mean, it's the same way. I just take my time and I find it out. You got to go to the Beyonce. I think that's in the What's the Read section. You got to go to the playlist to get back to the Beyonce stuff, because that's how I started. First of all, well, Beyonce, I started Beyonce, like my first video, my first like original content, because I did pictures and things like that. When I was working at Subway, I put that up there. But like the first thing I like put my energy into was the Met Gala reviews. And that was, the first one was Beyonce. I said, well, I'm going to do Beyonce because apparently she's coming to YouTube. This would mean TikTok. This was in the beginning of the year, if not last year. She's coming to TikTok. Let me get in the algorithm. Like I said, I didn't get on TikTok to play around. I came on TikTok to do something, understand. So I did that. And, you know, and that just came up. And so it's a lot of Beyonce content. In the beginning, I talk about her hair, obviously. I talk about Tina, her lineage, her great-grandparents, how her great-grandmother was a slave. Her great-great-great-grandmother was a slave, or like fourth great-grandmother was a slave. Then I get into Jay-Z, who he ran with the whole thing. Then these kids, alleged kids or whatever, which still are not as successful as that Chrissy video, but they're there. So, yeah, slow and steady, I guess. And I'm thankful for that, the slow and steadiness of it. Oh, I know exactly. I thought you meant like, do I know him? I know exactly who he is now with his handsome self. Yeah, I definitely trust the resources, you know, crossing information and things like that. I wish I had more people on the inside so that I can get fresh and new information. But I like the vintage tea because people don't know. Very handsome. Another reason too why Matthew can't beat them girls, because we talked about this before on live. Matthew can't beat them girls' father, because ain't none of them bodies Matthew's color. Not a one. Not a one. Even Beyonce, because Jules' dad, Solange's son, he lighter than Solange. But Matthew couple Matthew's genes coupled with Jay-Z's genes, and both his parents was brown skin. Kelly is his color. Matt, both his kids brown skin, but I mean both his parents brown skin. Blue Ivy and Beyonce color. Matthew's genes ain't carrying on to nothing. Now I did see a video saying that Blue Ivy and Titan, which is Kelly's son, they do favor. I just don't know. And then if you try to figure all that out, you might just rest in the fact that, okay, that's her dad and that's Beyonce's dad. Or no, that don't even make sense. It's a mind fuck to sit and try to consider how any of that makes sense. How Blue Ivy but they said Jay-Z looks like Titan. And it's kind of the thing. But the thing is, he does look like Kelly, but he looks like that dad, the father, as well. So it's not too out the box that he would look like them. Because not that Kelly's husband and Jay-Z so much favor, but some of the features kind of translate the same. Does that make sense? We check our children. Well, if Matt was supposed to be a manager and just create greatness, because that's what Beyonce was destined to do, and that's why I went back in her lineage. That's what I mean. She was made for this, and if they needed Matthew, who had the wherewithal to create, you know what I'm saying, the ability and the smarts, because he was in the industry to do that, then yeah. So who's Beyonce's dad is the question. And Daddy Issues is one of my favorite Beyonce songs, top 5 easily. That's Daddy's Lessons. That's the name of the song. But yeah. And that may be speculation to everybody, people don't be wanting to hear that. But if we haven't learned anything over the course of this year, and somebody should have told you years ago, believe half of what you see, none of what you hear. And Matthew don't look like none of them. Them girls don't look like Matthew. They look like Tina and those Italian Creole roots is what them girls look like. I don't see much of, was it from Mississippi, from Alabama? Mama Creole, Daddy Alabama, yeah. Yeah, I don't see much Alabama in them. Maybe in the shape, but like I said, at least Beyonce's kids should be a little bit darker. You see how True is a little darker, that ain't just because of Tristan. I don't want to say all of that. But yeah, definitely has strong genes. That's the Italian. They're Italian. There's a video. Go check out the video. And that's definitely in the Beyonce section. But yeah, for sure. And Matthew was just out here to push her, and he did what he did. I had my first heels by the age of 13. Cut to my video with Little Kim and her daughter when they met Saucy Santana. And that girl ain't even 13, I think. Royalty, her name is Royal Rain. 10, 11, had them damn white pumps on. So the Khalees issue, and something's out now. Talk about people ain't been paid, and even when you listen to Kevin Aviance tell his story, is kind of secretive about it. The only one really vocal is T.S. Madison. Which is funny when you consider everybody else and their issues, or other people that are on it who don't speak about it as much as, other than like some producers who are like, he gave her the beat to Thick 8 years ago or some shit like that. LaToya Luckett coming out and talking about some things, not so much of the album, but her relationship with Beyonce. Even Kelly, when she sat down with Angie Martinez, just being a pretty upfront and open about, things she learned from Beyonce. So I guess you got to get the good stuff with the bad stuff. But yeah, I would just think it would be more uh, a group effort, or everybody would be on one accord. It's like, got the call, we put, send her the stuff, and everybody, obviously everybody, well, I wouldn't say obviously, but you would think everybody gets paid and everybody gets the recognition, but nobody talks about being a part of that Beyonce album like T.S. Madison does. After the release. But yeah, but it depends. I think it would depend, and I don't know this firsthand now, but like with T.S. Madison, and maybe that's why. But that's and this is what I will say. Um, T.S. Madison owns anything that comes out of her mouth. So there was no back door to get that T.S. Madison verbal, that clip, without literally calling, clearing, paying T.S. Madison for the licensing of that sound. Khalees, she could backdoor it. Kevin Aviance, backdoor it. Grace Jones, backdoor it. The Clark sisters, she had to reach the Clark sisters. She had to call Twinkie because Twinkie put the songs together. So she had to call Twinkie, get the clearance. They got that money up front. Now everybody else gonna get some money on the back end, because then it goes through the Pharrells, and they go through the things and the things and the things. And whatever points that maybe Khalees and Kevin Aviance have on that record, then they get paid for that. That's how they end up getting paid after the songs get released. Well, if somebody like the Clark sisters and T.S. Madison, check up front. Toya was just talking about her work ethic. Toya has always been very gracious, and I think that's why Toya is still prevalent. Also, I love the Toya Lakin. Okay, arguably she's. I mean, the only thing with Beyonce is she dance and sing. Don't none of them dance like Beyonce, but I'm gonna listen to a LaToya Luckett album just the same. Just her work ethic and things like that. Nothing too crazy. I guess that in that podcast with Tank, the same podcast with Little Mo was on there, and she was talking about how she had met Fabulous for the first time, and they did Superwoman, and how he blew her mind on that. Just nice, whatever. So that sort of thing. But yeah, so that's that with that. But like I said in another video I did, she just had to come, and it just got to be all this stuff behind it. When, girl, you took 6 years, you took all this time to put it together, orchestrate it, engineer it. You could have been letting the people know. Kevin Aviance shouldn't have had to woken up out of a drunken stupor, allegedly, or whatever kind of stupor. This is a shirt I made for myself. It's a Michaela Shawn shirt. Kevin Aviance shouldn't have to woken up out of a state and been like, oh my God, my song's on a thing. No. Out of respect, because obviously, So that sort of thing, but you got to let the people do what they do. And yes, she's a talent, but she's also the puppet. And that's what I realized too with Kanye. As free speech as he is, and as much of a free thinker and an innovator as he is, he's still a part of the industry, and he is still conditioned to act and say and do, and to follow guidelines as far as, like, not saying him running, or not saying specific names and things like that. What else are we talking about? Exhausting. I was thinking, like, when Nikki get down, in down in the pits of hell, and put that filter on, I just don't even care, because and Kanye, I don't think he needs a mental break. I just think he has a lot on his mental. There's a lot that Kanye does. Even for him to do these interviews like this, it's a lot to recall. Like on Drink Champs, to be drunk and high like that. And granted, I'm sure they edit a lot, but not too much. But they obviously edit. But for him to even feel comfortable enough and to partake, because to get on there and be like, no, I'm not gonna, because I got to be careful what the fuck I say. No, he get on there, throw the drinks back, and I mean, he would throw, sip here, sip there, and also with the smoking. Once he started smoking, he really did get kind of loose, but he was just honest. Well, he was, and then you say he did. You need to detox too. He did have this. I guess he has a juicy juice. He has these, you know, the juice, the vegetable juices. Beet juice, ginger root, whatever. So he was drinking those too, and that's just well, honestly, to sober him up because when he left, he said he had to go to North's game. So a kid's school. Hold on now, as I think about that, because he said I got to go to North's game, and that made me think of the time a kid's school game, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, maybe six at the latest, but not with them little kids. So a game probably 5 o'clock. Well, Drink Champs is in Miami, and North playing Calabasas, and a jet take about 4 hours. How long it take to get from Miami to Calabasas on a jet? Probably about 4 or 5 hours. I'm trying to make that make sense as I sit and think about what he said. Yeah, Nikki just need to go on and hush it. I wish she would just hush it up. A lot easier. He should have just like Shaq and just drank water, drink champ. Well, and that's the thing too. Shaq getting on there and drinking water is like he can't get too loose. I think about celebrities, especially guys, when they get on there and get too loose. Wrists might get broken. You know what I mean? A hair might get flipped. That's what I feel like. So when guys get on there and drink, I be like, okay, they got a good handle on things. I'm not saying Shaq's wrist is broken and he might flip his hair, but Shaq ain't saying nothing so crazy, or even in such a crazy situation that he can't relax a little and just kick it with the boys. You know what I mean? Unless Shaq don't drink at all. I didn't watch that, so I don't know if he said that or not, but he's not going to get full custody. And I think that might be why Kanye keeps switching divorce attorneys. Well, that's family and stuff like that, but he wants somebody that's going to listen to him and see his side and not be, a lunar jet, okay? Somebody who be influenced by the Kardashian name, scared more or less, because once Kim becomes a lawyer, it's a wrap. Maybe he meant via, but he was there. He's been there at the games, and that's the thing. That's how I was like, and just in this moment, because like I said, I watched it last night, and I was like, oh, he's leaving. First of all, they're getting drunk in the daytime. Like Nori be lit, and Kanye was pretty nice. So y'all drunk by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you about to go to the kids game. Granted, you don't have to do too much; you just got to show up. But I don't know. But then again, too, my Drink Champs is in Miami, and Nori plays in Calabasas, so that's cross country. Or is it he only drinks at home? Why not? Well, maybe because I'm sure because you could barely understand him now, so maybe his words get to slurring, and that's not a good look. And also, too, he might be under with all these businesses he says he's a part of and things like that under morality clauses, and he's not going to risk that by any means. So that might be a thing too. When was Ti? Is he crying because of his son is getting attacked by the cockeyed ex-con? Hopefully they don't suspend me for that. But that's the truth. When was he? I didn't know he was crying. I seen him and he was sitting there arguing, trying to meet the boy in the streets, meet the guy in the streets. T.I. need to sit down too. You just too old for that. You too old for that. You got daughters out here, you got sons out here, and you still carrying on like you gotta fight every day to put food on the table. He was in an interview on a podcast. Somebody asked him how much was his biggest check or something like that, and he said he got a check for like $30 million, I think. And the guy was like, "Well, how did you feel?" And he was like, "It was just a check for 30 mil." I think he said something like, "I went to sleep. I went home and went to sleep." I've been done with T.I. since that first when he got caught in the car with Tiny, and every time after that, especially when he got out of prison, using words like expeditiously, I didn't even, it was a non-factor. Fighting for relevance. He got on there pulling receipts about what he's done for people. And what that got to do with the price of tea in China? Or the price of pussy in Paris? I mean, that don't have nothing to do with nothing. Especially, like, you fighting for relevance. People might not even want to be associated with that. Because you think you did something for me, now I'm surpassing you. And came to bat for his son. Against, what's his name, Charles? Why is your son in an argument? Why are you condoning your son in an argument with a grown ass man? A grown ass man. He ain't a peer. He's older than you, T.I. Why are you even allowing that? You got your kids out here. The one Deja. First, you got the appointments, the gyno appointments with her, with Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone, because I'm sure she go to one of them. They all go to them. And then she's half naked for Fashion Nova. You got the one out here with the dreads, looking crazy, just looking crazy. And then the other one was fighting something before, the older one. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. And then now we got the youngest one. I seen him. He looks very handsome. He had that chocolate girl next to him. It was a very nice picture. But you got a lot of things to be concerned about before you out here, stirring up mess, or even allowing your kids to be involved in the mess. And if anything, he need to go back to how it was in the beginning, where Tiny was the breadwinner, and he was just up and coming, or just a supportful. That's the word. Supportful boyfriend. And if that's where the Lord is leading him, that's just where he need to go. Because at the end of the day, you going to sleep on a $30 million check, you didn't make all the money that you need to make. If you ain't impressed about a $30 million check, then you done made all the money you need to make. And hopefully you did something right with it, so that you don't have to be out here hustling. This ain't the damn family hustle, even though everybody's out there hustling. But that's what Kanye was talking about. We out here in a world where Future's 14 kids is what he said. Future's 14 kids might have to go find a job because black people are not going to support a black man doing something. But I'm not the mess, and I don't know if Future has any major business endeavors, and that's why Kanye was promoting Duce. But that's there's something to be said. There's something to understand in what he was saying with that. There's no way T.I.'s kids, with all of this, especially with T.I. and Tiny, those boys should be, I need to put some water in my thing. Those boys should be out here making fools of themselves in the public eye. Y'all should be up in the family business or working on your things and, whatever, doing the things. No, it wouldn't be. That wouldn't be in the rule. You would actually. Yeah. As a parent, I understand that, but definitely not be in the room. I not that I'm into BravoCon, but I like to see who's there. I like to see what they wear, and I like to see what the news is. But like I said earlier, it's just a mess. People getting belligerent and crazy, and it's a shame that those ladies have to subject themselves to that. There's definitely a requirement in the contract because I wouldn't even show up. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. Oh, that could break it. Jesus, I could have broke it. Thank God it was room temperature. I could have busted that glass and I'd have been devastated. My phone is dying. So that's that. Stop counting his blessings, and they're gonna show him. Why is it so dark now? Was it the same darkness before? No, what's yeah, stop counting his blessings, and they're gonna show him the blessings stop flowing. Close for 100 million, so did Lil Wayne, and I mean that's not a good thing. You don't sell the catalog for just $100 million. You could make $100 million in 10 years off your catalog. Did you really make any money? Yeah, DMX had 11 kids. These rappers, they mean some of them got some sports teams, you know. But that's, I mean, I get that in a sense, you know, somebody, a guy rapping and doing, and caught up with the girls or whatever, you know, sure. Um, but like at 11 kids, 14 kids, Nick Cannon, I think, is at 11 kids. Keke Wyatt got 11 kids, 10 or 11 kids. And it just seems a bit excessive. It just seems a bit excessive. But who are we? Who am I to judge? 100 mil go real quick with all them kids, okay? All the kids, the rent, the house, what did I think even Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty said he spent like $50,000 a month. Maybe a little more on like his bills and things. You know? $100 million ain't nothing. If you still live in that same lifestyle, now you live a simple lifestyle. Hello. You live a simple lifestyle. $100 million lasts you a lifetime. But not when you spend $50,000 a month on bills. If over $150,000 on bills, just to maintain the home. Not to mention you got the cars, and then you go on to dinners, and then you want to flex, and then you want to this, and then you want $100 million would be gone in 5 years, maybe 10. But obviously, you know, he probably, I mean, that would be his only income, and hopefully he would flip it, you know. I think as a man of the streets, he would be able to flip $100 million. And there's a lot of ways to look at that, but that's not anything, especially when down the line, if and when, I mean, people start to listen to whole songs again. Listen, if I get me $100 million, it's either the highest house in the sky, or definitely on a lone piece of land surrounded by water, or somewhere not still at the Ross's. I mean, it depends. I wouldn't be labeled out like that, because I don't even like that, all that labels on clothes. I don't like that. I just want to see fine quality things, especially if I'm going and, you know, show up and show out. You know, you might, you know, spend a little extra on the Tom Ford and the YSL, sure. But like everyday wear, I'm not saying I'll be at Fashion Nova, but you know, Zara's or some shit. You know what I mean? It would be like the standard. and a good t-shirt. I mean, even I would still get me my t-shirts from Walmart and probably the screen tees too. Feel of the fabric is the thing, which leads me to like the Olsen twins who have the row. It's an extremely successful line that they have. Scam Likely was calling the row. Extremely successful fashion brand that they have. Everyday items, t-shirts, cardigans, pants, slacks, sweaters, things like that for the rich and famous because the quality of the clothing is so nice, but there's no branding on it. It's just nice clothes. Hey, Sharon. Hello, hello, hello. So that sort of thing, but it's expensive, But when you're in a certain tax bracket, that's what I'm saying about the Beyonce thing. It's like people can't understand how she would spend $145,000 on a wig that she wears on tour that she would wear for 3 months. If you can't justify buying a $200 shirt, then you definitely don't understand how somebody spends $145,000 on some hair. And I can justify both. Because the shirt feels good and it's going to last. And the hair feels good and it's going to last. It's going to last. So that's that. But yeah, it seems like, everybody's selling their somethings. Meanwhile, you got Ashanti and Taylor Swift re-recording past albums. Music is it's all strange. Music is definitely music, especially at this current moment, is very in a strange place. As we all know and as we all see, with the ladies all up in arms. And I just seen Carisha, Texas baby, welcome. I just seen Carisha. I need something to drink. It's gonna be in BMF. She's not gonna do both. She's not gonna do all three. Because she's not gonna stop Carisha, please. It's just won an award. Hold on, let me get a beverage. My throat. I've shown up and broke that thing. Thank God I didn't break that thing. I'm so devastated. Oh, look at that like that. Hold on, I'll be right there. Hold on, I will be right there. Hey, y'all. Yeah. Beyonce is the only one that still does a full body. I mean, yeah. And Carisha, I don't watch BMF, so I'm not exactly sure what she gonna do, what her and Monique is gonna give, or what they gonna bring. But it's a successful show, I know, and she's on it. That's another check. JT said she don't pay no bills. All her money getting stacked up. Everybody making money. But for Ashanti to even re-record those songs, they can't be the same thing. Because those original songs are part of the catalog that she doesn't own the rights to. So she can't go back in the studio and be like, oh baby, she'll get sued. Right. That's not unprecedented and it's not unheard of. That happens all the time. It's obviously the same thing that happened with Taylor Swift. So whatever they do with that, I don't know. I thought about that, doing that. Well, I have to re-record some videos. Grand Diva, welcome. I have to re-record some videos because they took the damn sound out of them. She definitely has to change it up. So we'll see what she does. She's just been everywhere doing everything. I don't even know where Ashanti came from. But everybody gets played out of bread. There's some videos that come across my timeline, and I know the people by name, so it's interesting to see them in their podcast the way they do. And that's why they killed Whitney Houston. Ooh. Because in my brain, I'm working on that video, right? And I think it's just going to take me a little bit. I mean, it's like, I do need to take the full weekend because I told you I'm going to have to back channel this Pat Houston thing, right? And that's what I'm working these back channels, honey. I'm in Israel, okay? And, you find things, you see things, and things start to make sense. And that's another reason, too, why I make these videos. But you have to pay this money back. They give you all this, they give you this money for the record contract and stuff like that, and the deals and all that stuff. And you put out these songs, and then you're forever indebted to these people because you have to pay this $50 million back. Whitney had to pay $100 million back, and she didn't want to work. You know how they recoup that money? We smart in here. Well, I mean, that's just whatever. I mean, that's all Me Too, and I don't know. People didn't really make no big deal about it. And also, too, I just whatever relevance that Ashanti. I'm still so confused as to where did she come from. Where did this resurgence? I know where Ashanti was. That's my era as well. She had Summers on lock back then. But yeah, on vacation with her career, like she really ain't done nothing. She ain't in the movie. And if she is making her money, if she's been back channeling, say everybody wants to bring up her singing background for J Lo or whatever. If that's the way that she's been making her money, and my assumption is that she's just high class CG with a good voice and talent. And if she'd been screwing the right people or locking herself into these deals where people need her, like a J Lo, you know what I'm saying, her benefiting from her, then she can leverage something to be like, okay, I want to record my stuff. I want to star on a Hollywood Walk of Fame and things like that. So whatever, she's just been waiting her time or whatever the case may be. Because at the end of the day, girl, you know how many girls is like Ashanti ain't doing half this stuff Ashanti definitely don't have no star on a Hollywood Walk of Fame. Definitely ain't about to re-release some damn old Nicole Schlesinger. She ain't releasing nothing from the damn Pussycat Dolls. Granted, she is on the TV show, but she ain't doing nothing like that. Leona Lewis ain't doing nothing like that. JoJo ain't doing nothing. Love JoJo ain't doing nothing like that. Ain't got no star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So that's that. And those are things we don't know. And that's where I need insiders. We gotta support the channel, you guys, so I can take y'all on a journey with me. We're on the ground floor of greatness here. Wait till we get to the midway, honey. Wait till I'm almost there. I told you that girl wrote that, stitched me in a slander video. She tried to slander me. You didn't see much of her. Even her date and Nelly was just another, connection to the system, to the game. Because I don't, in my view, somebody like Nelly should be married. It don't take you long to find somebody to settle down with. Understand? And you do with that what you will. Right. Exactly right. So that's just that on that. That's just that on that. And if he's just a leg up kind of guy because he barely got a leg in, that's that on that. That's just my perception. But that's my view on it. But that's why we come here for the view. Nanette, hey, welcome. Is he? Definitely. Just share so I got Schlessenberger. That's what Wendy Williams called her because she knew the tea. Haven't heard anything on Wendy. We're not gonna hear nothing on Wendy till things start to settle down. It's no coincidence that Wendy went into that rehab and now JT and them is fighting and Nene's son is in the hospital. It's no coincidence that she's away and the mice are out to play. Might be living a life. I agree. Him, fabulous. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. Just got a leg in the game. Yeah, no. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. Gave for pay. And that's fine too, but and so that you can't settle down? Because if Fably got Emily, Nelly could find him and Emily, no problem, okay? But you're not. I spot him. See, there you go. No updates on him, I don't think, other than him in the hospital. The updates is on Nene. Did somebody buy the damn Lenithia Lounge? And in selling it, it's like, don't you want to franchise that thing? Do anybody want to buy this? Like, not buy this space? Like, is that when? And then is that what she was? Because I never watched. I just watched clips from what was sent to me and things like that. Never really seen all that, everything, all the, like a whole video. But like when she says, does anybody want to buy the Lenithia Lounge, which was so classless in the sense of my son is ill and I'm trying to sell the lounge. Are you trying to sell the licensing so that somebody can franchise the Lenithia Lounge? Like, what are you trying to do? I talked about that earlier. I don't know none of them girls on Housewives of New York, not a one. And is Nene going broke? If Nene is going broke with all this very rich Trump checks and houses, she should be going broke because I'm sure, I would hope Greg had some money. So you should at least have that. And you was on Atlanta for 10 years, so you should have some of that. Um, Glee checks. She probably get residuals from Glee. I don't know, anywhere from $200 to $20. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. She shouldn't be. She shouldn't be. But if she scrounger for relevance, like it seems like everybody in Atlanta is doing, College Hill. But College Hill, that was cute. And Ray J is not broke by no means, and he was on College Hill. Neither is Stacey Dash. Big Frida ain't broke. She got that Beyonce checks. So I'm not gonna say there was people. Half them people on College Hill ain't broke at all. That land in Athens. And I mean, that's what you got to do. Build you a house in Athens with a landing strip on it. I don't know, whatever. I just can't see her being broke. And that's just all this. All this is just an attempt to get somebody to say, we want you back on the show. Because why would you even want to be back on Atlanta? Because okay, the case got squashed. The case got squashed, so that didn't really happen. So you did all of this so now you a liar? Do we want that on television? No. Now, okay, so your chorus, who's that? Said because him and Drake broke up. I missed because there's a delay, so I've even been moved on in 7 seconds, and then y'all be saying stuff, and I'll be forgetting what was said. Who we talking about? Nene going broke? Is Nelly? Do Nelly got the hands? Where is Ashanti? Where did she come from? Jump right on in, DJ Sparkleberry. Nene checks were spent before payday. Now that's a real no. That's a real no. But like I said, Greg had to have left at least half a million behind, at least, if not a quarter. He had to leave something behind, and all that. Like well, you said, spent before payday because then you paying things back, stylists, house, taxes. But that's what the Atlanta check should be covering: your taxes and your stylist and everything like that. All those nice wigs. Because Nene got good wigs now. She don't have ass on no wigs now. See, Black Pearl, welcome. Nene, because that's how Nene got the show. Because she was hustling, trying to get on pilots. She would go out to LA for pilot season and stuff like that. They knew Nene. Nene brought them to Atlanta. Nene put that show together. And when Nene talks about Bravo blacklisting her, that kind of makes sense because Nene has a following, the fan base. She has the talent. She has the it factor. You know what I mean? And on her, let's say, the new normal and on Glee, she delivered. You know, so it should be nothing for her to be placed in a show like. I'm still waiting for Nene to do some type of singing, so I'm expecting her to see. I'm expecting to see her on like The Masked Singer or something like that. I feel like she was, but I'm still waiting for her to do something like that. But it should be nothing for her to get on, Law and Order. She could have been on Claws, even though Claws is over, but she could have been on Claws. She could be on her new show. She could be in The Equalizer. There's a lot of places Nene can be, but she's not. Why is the question? Greg didn't have it like that recently, but Greg had it like that. And I mean, I would hope that when you had it like that, you had at least a decent insurance policy, especially when he got sick. They should have went up on the insurance policy. Did you see, girl, when Katie was touching on? First of all, I think I'm concerned about Katie, and I hope she's all right. While we worried about Mia having cancer, I do hope Katie's all right. But because every time she comes on, she look worse. The pressure is getting worse. And every time Katie come on the show, she look worse. So, but that was funny. Nene in New York, take Dubai, take Istanbul, take Miami, take Nene in New York, the simple life. There it is. Nene could be in many places. But her head is big, rightfully so. Maybe I would hope that when she get in a room with directors, because I don't think Nene is like that. I do think when she get around common folk or people, maybe with a PA and stuff like that, her head might be a little big. But when she get to around, the movers and the shakers, the people that put the shows together, I would like to think that she's pretty humble to that. Like, oh, thank you so much. I promise I won't disappoint. I think she would do something like that. Very much so how she was on The Apprentice. Cancer treatment is expensive now. So that is something. But I mean, you take out a loan for that or something. Tommy Coleman, welcome. Oh, if you had genetics, you can't increase the policy. Well, I don't know. I don't know what you mean by if he had genetics, but um, like pre-existing conditions or something like that. Um, I don't know, but that's another reason to. That's a funky move on Bravo's end. if they understood that situation from Nene and she was still off the show because they would know that she needed the show. I also don't think Nene would be consistently elevating her look, which has been consistently elevating her look, and then the Lenithia Lounge when she has all this debt from the house and Greg's treatment and you know what I'm saying, things like that. So those kind of things don't make sense to me. But we don't know. I don't know. But you sitting there trying to tell the Lenithia Lounge in the same breath as your son being in the hospital, and then Kenya wants you back on Atlanta Housewives. That's a little bit too. The string is being threaded in too many holes for me. Oh, if he had the cancer gene, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Richie need her back there. I don't know what next season has in store. And they said they're bringing everybody back, which means I'm very much on the fence. Well, you know, some people do, and I don't think that was Nene, not one of them. Some people. Um, and Nene, you know, she did what she did with Greg to get back on the show. You know, divorced him, and then came back on when she was getting back on the show. They got married again. And then now her son, you know, she's sacrificing these guys, and that's, I mean, that's the price to pay. There's my TV going on. She's doing the things that need to be done to get her back in the rooms and the places. She'll get back on there after all this shit she did with Bravo. I'm sure she'll be back at the $1 million. I'm pretty sure she's not going to sign for nothing less than. Um, but at the cost of, you know, the men in your life and your happiness, your true, genuine happiness. Because Nene not happy with this man. He's skinning and grinning in every picture, handsome as he is, skinning and grinning. I just don't know where Nene fits in. Like I said in the beginning of all this, Kenya brings Nene on. Nene and Marlo are still friends. Kenya's mad at Nene for being Marlo's friend. Marlo's mad at Nene for being Kenya's friend. Nene and Kenya are friends. They ganging up on Marlo. I don't care. I don't want to see any of that. I don't want it to be as predictable as I just said it. Or Kenya, Kenya or Nene and Marlo are friends and they gang up against Kenya. Then Kenya comes on Watch What Happens Live after the fact and says, well, I didn't want her. I never liked Nene. I just wanted her on for good TV, which indicates that you can't carry the show, which I don't think Kenya's ever. Kenya's never carried the show, but Kenya is much needed in the context or the vibe of the show right now. But I don't, you know, to make Kenya say something like that, you know, I don't want to be, and I'm not interested in any of it. I don't know. I just don't know where Nene fits in. And especially with Nene being gone, with Portia being gone, it kind of sets the stage for a shakeup like they did in New York. And that's what needs to happen in Atlanta. But we already know what's going on, so there's no shaking that up. But y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all heard what I said. I just don't know where she places. I don't have no idea where Nene places in the current environment of Atlanta. Is she going to be arguing with Candy? Is she going to be arguing with Sanya Sam's runner? Is she going to be arguing what? What are we doing? What is going to happen? Are you going to be on there complaining? Are you going to be with that man and then the ex-girlfriend's going to show up? Is your son's going to be in there? Bryson, is he all right? Is the other one, is he sick and ailing? I don't want to see Nene taking care of some kid. I don't want to see any of these things. I don't want to see it. And I don't want her getting on there. Thank you so much. I don't want her getting on there arguing and being nasty and being bitchy. Funny one-liners, yes. Snooze, I don't know none of them girls. I never watch. I was never a watcher of, I don't follow. I know some of the girls, knew some of the girls. Not even really. Like I said, Jill Ben Simone, and that was only because well, Jill Ben Simone is the photographer. I only knew by the last name. I don't know nobody else of them girls. And I never liked Ramona. Um, so I just never tuned in. I liked Bethany. Bethany was collateral damage to that award that she got, and I'm just over it. And then the fact she gets on here and is all judgy of products and thing, and it's like, girl, there's influencers to do that. Aren't you supposed to be Kelly Ben Simone? Right. So Jill Ben Simone was her husband, and I knew him because he was a photographer. But other than that, I knew nobody else. But I don't like what Bethany's doing. She's taking up people's these influencers' money, and you doing all this philanthropic endeavors. I don't know where you find the time to be TikToking. So that's that. Nene is outdated, a total no-no. I'm not gonna say, um, well, and I only really know Jill Zarin from Ultimate Girls Trip this past season. Honestly, I did not watch New York. Um, I won't say that Nene's outdated because Nene is the classic. Nene is black reality royalty. Is New York and is Nene and Tammy and the other black girl from Real World. What's her name, y'all? And who else we got? Black women in reality. I think that's really it. Pre-Housewives and things. Well, I guess you have to say Nene from Housewives, but she's kind of like the beginning of all that. But yeah, so I wouldn't say that she's definitely the standard. Like I said, the royalty. But after all this time, and then the time you put into trying to distance yourself from that, you then can't go backpedaling back to it. I don't care how much they're paying you. Because if they're paying you that much, then you should be able to find a network to put you. I mean, Tubi and BLK and Amazon Plus and Netflix and all these streaming services. Yeah, I am talking about the girl on Sirius, right? All these streaming services. Nobody picked you up. If the numbers is right, it ain't about Andy's heart. Yeah, it's been a lot of time, and like I said, she's not. I don't know what Nene could do to. I don't know what she would do to bring brand new life because the show needs brand new life. Drew got to go. Kenya, I'm sick of it. Like to see Marlo, but the ship is already sinking. Candy, she never really does much. Candy gonna be moving and shaking and doing, like I said, she doing all this stuff with Derek Blanks. I don't know what Candy's doing, but she not at home watching them kids. I don't want to see Riley. I don't want to see none of it. I don't want to see. I like Sonya. Especially towards the end, I really took a liking to Sonya because she just real, and I do like the real. But I don't. I need a little bit more with that. And nobody meshes with Sonya like that to really bring all of that out together and it be a beautiful show of women who support love and are real and all that stuff. That's just not where we're at. So you got to shake all that up. Sheree got to go. And it's nice that because Sheree's hair be beautiful. And whatever filter she used on the pictures, I need to find it. But you need to get back into the factories and figure out how to lower the prices on them nylon leggings for $1,000. Candy, I mean, but the thing with Candy is she is worldwide. And Candy will always be relevant because Candy is always going to be in your face. But there's just nothing exciting. You know what I mean? Like, and then Candy's real show is her behind the scenes. The show that would be really interesting for Candy is like a day in the life of Candy. Today with Candy. You know? A candy coated day. or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I get up, I go to the, with the kid, whatever she play around with the kids. I'm jumping on the plane here, I'm flying private. I got the call from Diddy, gave me the plane. Red hair can't need to come back. I'm jumping on the plane, I'm flying private, I'm shooting The Shy, I'm shooting the shit on BLK. Then I go to New York to do the thing with the thing. That's Candy's show. And that's the only thing that I can find interesting with Candy, because that's what we need to see as far as like black women doing something, especially when it comes to us. If I'm gonna speak to black people on television, let's show us how we make our money and do our things. She does have that on YouTube. Yeah, she does. Um, Although she do be in the hotel rooms, and it depends, because she did tell that story at the Oscars, how she almost passed out in her dress. So she does do that on YouTube. But that's another thing, you know what I'm saying? That she needs a show that records all of that. She needs a show to record all the things, because Candy does so many things. It's no way you teaching them kids how to walk, because you out there on the set of The Shy, on the set of The Shy. It's no way you making bedtime, because you're in New York at the theater. Working Moms. First of all, you ever watch that show Working Moms on Netflix? Now, Candy could get a show like Working Moms, and she would be the star of that. Give her $1 million, because she's the top working mom besides Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian. But that sort of thing. I don't watch OLG, so I don't know. I don't. But people keep talking about it, so I'm assuming the people like it. But I don't, because I don't care to see. I'm not watching nothing with Mama Joyce in it. And I heard they don't got no staff, so I'm not figuring all of that out first. Unless you're gonna do a show, your show gonna be like OLG, gonna be like kitchen renovations, or wherever that guy come in and read the place down. I don't. That's not that. Well, that's not for me. Yep, just drama and fashion. That's what we got to do better. That's the thing about Married. First of all, I like Married to Medicine. This was probably the worst season they've ever had. And there's no newcomers. Only new person is Anila. I guess you could say Contessa is a newcomer. But I feel like Contessa was already a part of that fabric. Anila's probably the newest thing there. But they could probably go for a shakeup. But I'm invested in them. So maybe wait, and it's only season 7. And I like what you call it, Audra and Dr. Martin. Love them, love them. So I could be biased, but I'm interested to see what they do. And like Kevin said in the reunion, in the finale, or that was Toya. Y'all about to bring a baby into this, so they're not going nowhere. They're about to bring a baby to the show. The show ain't never seen no baby. I mean, most of the kids was like 3 and above. That would be like Toya's kids. I think she got the youngest kids on the show, and maybe Contessa. But I think her boys are younger than Contessa, if not the same age. But so I like Audra, and I like to see what I'm giving Married to Medicine another season to get their ducks in order, and because like I said, this was probably the worst season they've ever had. But Atlanta has been on a slow decline, maybe quicker. Not for work, but not for working moms, because she's a working mom. I don't watch all the Queens, man. Do y'all like it? I know people said they liked it. Maybe one day I might tune in just for context. Yeah, no, I don't. Nothing OLG. I don't care about unless y'all about to go back there and show these #1 Michelin star winning recipes, because that's the type of content I like, at least when it comes to food. Or and you can't have a business and you sitting up there firing people and the turnover and stuff like that. You can't do that. So I don't know. So y'all love it. See, well there it is. I heard Eva on there getting the girls together, boys and the girls. See, I don't think, and that's the thing. Heavenly is a certain kind of woman, and she's a certain kind of Miami woman, which is acceptable to people who understand it, and not acceptable. But that's, they get it. This is just who Heavenly is. The thing with Heavenly, which I like, is that Heavenly is many things and also somebody messy. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she just messy and don't own this, don't own that, don't have this, don't have that. Heavenly is many things. So I give her that credit. And like I said in my video, she ain't saying nothing about Contessa that Contessa ain't told other people. She ain't saying nothing to nobody that she probably ain't told them to their face. So she stand up, and I appreciate that. It has a twist, so somehow, man. I'm gonna just, like I said, I'm gonna give it a go for context. But somebody else brought that up too, and then it's good to see Eva working. She's also in something else too. Eva is Quad is messy. Quad is, and Toya is too. I think Toya be bored, and Quad. If they never put Quad on full time, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. I was saying earlier that the way they shoot her is not so much like she used to talk a lot. Like when she was first on, they was always caught up in what Quad was saying, and now she's every so often. You know what I'm saying? And even now when they're at her house, it's like the nephew talking. It's those sorts of breaks and Quad's soliloquies. But I couldn't imagine sitting there, especially when Quad just gets to carrying on and just talking up on the balcony. I'm walking out. And at the house when she was talking about Frank Sinatra, I'm walking out. Cause Quad, shut up, girl, shut up. Okay. But people like that sort of thing. People respond to that sort of thing. But that's not for me. Quad could have been gone long ago. Well, Quad, she was gone, and she could have stayed gone, because I really don't think she brings anything to the show. But the thing about Married to Medicine is that's a real group of friends. They weren't put together specifically for the show. What they have right now, that's a real group of friends. Well, she has books. The last time I said that, I looked up to her, and she has a couple books. Could she do more? Maybe, but maybe that's not in Toya's capacity to do more. She's just, somebody said she's a quintessential doctor's wife, and that's just a simple socialite hosting elaborate dinners and wearing the labels and representing her husband in the way that they see fit. Because Eugene is very much, he appreciates Toya for her ratchetness, so it gives them a chance to be ratchet. Tap into that, because Eugene is a jack of all trades, as we've noticed. But when he can let his hair down, he likes that. That's what I think is the thing, his thing with Toya. Flatline, like I said, this was the worst season they've ever had, and hopefully they can do better. I want to say they need to get rid of Anila, because I don't really mind Anila. She's definitely stressing him out. But I think he might be stressed out. It's a cumulative effort. And like I said in my video, if he were to go the food route, because he cooks so well and whatever the case is, Toya would leave him, or she was stressing out even more. Because it's not like she about to get up there and be no, you know what I'm saying? Phaedra's modeling. That's what Phaedra doing. And maybe she's doing some back channel lawyering, but she ain't doing much of nothing else. But I'm giving Married to Medicine, let's see what happens next season. Next season they might bring somebody else on. I don't know. Also too, maybe they just need to, just shake the whole party up. Most of these shows need to be shaken up. We've been looking at these women for 12 years, 7 years in it, but even still. Yeah, Kieran, I don't mind him. He's fresh, he's funny, he's set in his ways, like he's not moved by anybody else. I I like Karen. And I don't mind the dynamic with Anila and Karen, or Anila on the show. Um, if it weren't for Karen, Neela probably could go. But we'll see. But they're all trying to do something well, that's why I said they got the best husbands, because they all do something on Atlanta. Them husbands be making money, okay? No, 100%. They all look good, because Quad Quad is the youngest. I think she's 42. Toya like 45. Well, Anil is the youngest, but I think Anil is like 42. So right, um, they do all look very good with money, and they're good with their money. They're richer than them girls in Atlanta, except for Candy. And that's what I like about them. You know what I'm saying? For us to be built into that, to be invested and familiar with those women, I'm okay with that, because they're great representation. Sure, Heavenly gets a little messy, but Simone is messy as well. And Quad is the busy girl's girlfriend. You know what I mean? The busy girl's girlfriend, but she's a part of that. It's not like they brought her onto the show to be in it. She's their friend. You know what I'm saying? They call Quad. They with Quad. Child, don't even get me started on Cynthia. And the Contessa is the highest paid together. They make a lot of money, her and Scott. And I'm sure, and Contessa, I mean, they all, Contessa, between Contessa, Heavenly, collectively, Contessa and Scott, Heavenly and Dr. Damon, and then Jackie. Those are some rich heifers. You know what I'm saying? They got some money. They got some weight. They have some influence in that city. Jackie done seen everybody's snatch. Quad is a socialite, and she does modeling. I mean, she gets paid for Instagram posts and things like that, but she don't do nothing else. I don't think Quad got a fashion store. I don't think she has a fashion store. Jackie, the thing about Jack Curtis is the good thing about Curtis is that he's Stedman. He's Stedman. And Jackie likes that. And she was probably very upset with what Curtis did outside their marriage. But Jackie would have been worse off. Hey, Victory 365. Jackie would have been worse off mentally, emotionally, if Curtis would have left and never came back. Jackie would have been the one, because Curtis obviously could go on and get him another girl. Jackie would have been devastated, and she wouldn't be this strong, power of the V woman like she needs Curtis. And this is not because of the show; they've been together, so it's not nothing for new for the show. But it's that dynamic. They all need their husbands on there, and that's kind of what I like about the show too. Like, they appreciate the relationships that they're in, except for Simone and Cecil. But even still, they have a dynamic in a relationship. They're divorced because old boy about to get married. In fact, I want to say he is married. Either way, he's about to. He had a formal engagement, and Quad wished him, congratulations. Or they did get married. I have to clarify that, but let me see. But they were divorced because he done moved on. Quad is 40. So she's an entrepreneur and producer. Google always calling somebody an entrepreneur and a producer. Oh, she was recently named a brand contributor for a fashion store. Girl, is the girl still going to BCBG? I ain't been in a BCBG in uh at least 10 years. I don't even think they got it in the Buffalo Mall no more. Girl, are the girls still at BCBG? That is funny to me. And a chef, and she does have that cookbook, and talk show. She hasn't been on that talk show in a while. And owner of Picture Perfect Pup, a luxury canine clothing line. Is that still up and running, Picture Perfect Pup? Let me see. She is getting divorced. Why? And I said, don't get me started on Cynthia. So what the hell is BCBG? A clothing line like Guess. It's like Guess, because it's better than like it's nothing even like a rave or like it's like Guess. Quality clothes, but a brand that people are familiar with, but it's old. We know why they're getting the divorce because we knew why she shouldn't have married him in the first place. Yes, beta men. I agree with that. CC. I agree with that. Beta men for sure. Except Dr. Damon, who is kind of a beta. He's just quiet. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. I think that's why they work because heavily respect the man she got. She don't want him to be no more. She wanted him to be exactly what he is, and then she does all the maneuvering. You know what I mean? So they all of them beta men, except Kieran. Yeah, and you understand his relationship. No, they've been married 2 years. But they trying to get her back. And I definitely don't want to see Cynthia and Nene back on the show. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that at all. At all, by no means. Child, brief life. So I can't even believe they just said. I had to look at. I ain't seen them letters put together like that in 10 years. Not since I worked at the mall, looking at in the BGC. Cute clothes. You know what I'm saying? They used to have the models styled up. If you had like learners, not learners, if you like Express, but for girls, that's BCBG Express for girls. And with it was cute things. They had the cute shoes and you know what I'm saying, shirts and jeans and accessories and things like that. But it ain't Fashion Week in Milan, BCBG. But if they're gonna give quite the money for it, I mean that's a cute little gig. It's a cute little something. And I don't mind Nene. I'm not saying I'm not. I'm not saying that I don't like Nene. I do. I respect Nene. I just gave her her props. Understand? But with giving her props, she then can't go back. She can't. She can't. I'm gonna say it. She can't go back to a show that she was so desperately trying to detach from. Because now you seem so desperate. The Joy Desperate. They both benefited from that relationship because Cynthia went out to LA and she got on these shows, and he got a little recognition from being with Cynthia. But there was no way a woman in her right mind going to her man's house, uh, hosting a function, and the women there are a constant reminder of reasons why you should marry him and giving you the evidence as to why you shouldn't even be with him, and you still marry him. Because you can't be that desperate for marriage because you didn't even want to be married when you married Peter. You didn't even want to get married. Then you went through what you went through with Peter. And then now you just so all up and For this, for I can't even remember his name. Then took the hill out of the chill, and now you see, it's just a sea, lonely, out at sea. Definitely, BGC was hot now. Like I said, I love walking past the BGC window because they was on the corner of the hallway, so they had the wraparound. So models was along the long way, and then they had the models in the front, the jackets and the jeans and the furs and the accessories, cute stuff. Little. It's a place to get you a real cute. Like I said, if you had the money, because they was expensive, a little pricey, I should say, to get you for the night a little black dress. Oh, if the shoes was freshly delivered, because they always ran out of the shoes, get you the shoes for the right gown, right place. It was good like that. Peter didn't give me abuse vibes. What I know Peter was abusing was that, and that's what I know. What's his name? Mike Hill wasn't doing. Like I say, you don't go from dark skin to light skin. You just don't do it. Sheree looked dumb like an Apollo. She know about Apollo. She know about Apollo. She know things about Apollo we don't know about Apollo. And Apollo, she called up Apollo because she knew Apollo would like to be featured in that way. Girl, what you call it is gay. Leon is gay. Cynthia can't pick no man. Cynthia's a strong black woman, and she's sitting here trying to get with these men. She couldn't get with Peter because Peter, Cynthia boring, and Peter out here moving and a shaking and a dipping and a doing, and that's not what Cynthia was trying to do. That's it. Simply for relevance, a little bit of a storyline, or to listen, a little bit of a storyline, or to get her, like I said, now whatever she's doing, she want to start acting more and stuff like that. That's all. But she shouldn't be in no conversations about getting back to fucking Bravo at all. That's why I hate that Bravo kind of thing. It's like, even if I get away, I don't know, they probably get paid something. But it's like, I could go make this money, especially like the Shahs of Sunset. They make money, Candy making money as she's sitting there. I don't need to be here. Let me tell you. The same way they had the mother, Mallory, and that mother held that license when she wanted to marry Peter. It's the same way they should have hid the license when she went to marry Mike. But it's all for whatever reason, whatever cause, whatever benefit. To each one, to each his own, as they say. Because I knew then, like I said, at that house with them women there and laughing and giggling, and Mike just laughing and giggling, and she just sitting there looking. Girl, this about to be your husband. He looked like your best friend. And not in that good way, like he should be before you make him your husband. I don't, and it shouldn't, okay? But it did, and now here we are. And she looks silly. And don't know, man, that's what I said too about the Chrissy video. Lots of comments in the Chrissy video, but the most disgusting, I think, are the comments where it's women saying that when women make the comment, oh, this is why he didn't marry her, because of her past. I don't like that. But Cynthia, ain't no man knocking down your door unless he wants to come up in. He not knocking down your door for love because you don't know what love is. You don't know what love is. And Cynthia she's not an alpha female. But she thinks she is. So much so that she can't play that part. Because Cynthia should be like Anila. Using her image to make her money with a man that brings in 3 times as much. But my image, keeps some of your money in your pocket. Because like I said, I will always, because this is like the new wave, but this is where we're at in the world. When Anila said we got $500,000 worth of furniture for this home my husband built, that's a sickening line. That's a sickening stance. That's a sickening way to be a good wife, to put into the family and still support your man, all or even have it so that he can keep, so that he don't have. Of course, he paid the $5 million to build the house, but now he don't have to worry about furnishing it because my likeness and my image have put the money in there. That's what Cynthia need to be doing. But no, 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 no. Cynthia thinks she Iman or fucking Tyra Banks for that matter. She ain't even Tyra Banks. That's what confuses me with Cynthia. That's what she should have did with Peter. But Peter was more like, let's put our money together and then let's build whatever. And I don't know if Cynthia wanted to do that, or even Peter, because Peter's a party promoter. You know what I mean? Essentially, he's a upscale party promoter, an entrepreneur, restaurateur. So he's out dillying and dallying with the people because he wants people to come to his functions, to his bars, to his places, because this is how we make money. And if she got intimidated by that and she wasn't alpha enough to understand, now she or Peter probably the best thing for her. But Peter ain't lost no damn sleep. Child, I think so. Steve has something to do with that. But Steve is about the bottom dollar, or whatever a matchmaker make me a match he think he is. Mm-mm. And listen, you got one successful marriage so far, Stephen. One successful marriage, and yes, I am a believer that my experiences give me credibility. But one successful marriage, and your other marriages before you will dog you to the ground. Ain't like they had things, but you've been put in a position to create books and do this thing. They've been able to leverage your experiences. SKWS, welcome. They've been able to leverage your experiences to make money for who? Like Kanye said, the Jews. And it had to have been a man like Steve Harvey to do it. So yeah, I know old Mike is struggling to settle down like me. So if we give him this marriage, if the marriages look good, that's why Nene married Greg before she got back on that second time. Marriages look good for people. It makes them look stable, reliable, whatever that means. With Cynthia too, a history-making model in the game, but she's no supermodel. She's not, you know what I'm saying? She's just the model who was early on. And Cynthia was a catalog model. And if you know modeling, it's a huge difference, okay? And there's no shade on it, and I'm not taking none of her accolades. Like I said, a history-making model, but catalog, honey. Okay? But the people like her. She black, she pretty, she got a nice body, you know what I'm saying? And she got her money, you know what I'm saying? She ain't out here strung out on the stuff. She's a good look. But that's well, like Tina said, what's love got to do with it? But y'all not even in it for the matter of business because it didn't even stick it out. That's how you know it was a matter of convenience. You don't think Beyonce wanted to divorce Jay-Z? Lala Anthony divorced Carmelo? The videos, exactly. A lot look unhappy, that's true. But that's what she did. 2 years. Lala Baby was married for a long time. Beyonce, Jay-Z still married. Cardi. Is they married? Cardi B and Offset? They not married. Are they married? They just together. But you didn't even stick it out. Kenya's still married today. Oh, don't even get me started on Kenya and that man. Like I said before, Kenya, you go through, you get the same way I'd be like with Drew. Drew, don't get in at this dinner and think you're about to start reading people. and doing and think you some big bad bitch. When you walk through that door, Ralph gonna gather your ass up in 2 seconds. Like I don't have time for Drew in that way. Same thing with Kenya. Kenya, don't get out here in this place and be cussing people out. Want to read somebody to fulfill, want to get in everybody's business, but you marry a man that can't stand you the way your mother and your father don't want to be bothered with you. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. After all these years in the game, screwing Jamie Foxx and all this stuff that you did, and that don't really mean much of nothing. Jamie Foxx screwed Katie Holmes, and I don't mind Katie Holmes, but I'm saying all the things that you did. This is who you result. This is who you find yourself with. This is who you find yourself tethered to the end of one of y'all's time. Make that make sense to me. And in that case, shut your mouth. And that's why Phaedra read her the way that she read her. Because maybe she did just find him through a surrogacy bank or something. And she was like, listen, I can get you the money for your, through Candy, because Candy knew him. You know, I can get you $20,000. And as a restaurateur in New York, you're going to take $20,000. Okay? And all I need you to do is be yourself. You ain't even got to kiss me. You don't have to rub on me. You don't have to do anything like that. They got married 2017. My goodness. Jesus. 17. That's 3, 4, 5 years. 5 years. Look at them. Pumping out kids. They just make it work, okay? Meanwhile, Cynthia, long in the tooth, okay? Don't know, just looking. And my thing is, I'm not bashing her for being married and then divorcing, but you could have just been fucking off on Mike. You know what I'm saying? I'll go live with Mike because I want to move and shake and things like that. And you and Nene and Kenya could do the whole single in the city, you know, that sort of thing. But Nene in New York is going the simple life in Colorado. But that sort of thing, you don't have to be tied to no man. And that's my encouragement to women. There's no guarantees in marriage. A license, standing up in front of a pastor, and putting your friends through stress and struggle is no guarantee. And as Cynthia, like I said, when she first got on the show, I don't want to be married. I don't want to marry. I don't want to get married. For you to have gone through now 2 marriages in your tenure of being back in our, like, being a prevalent factor in our television screen, that's a worse look than you'd be if you was screwing him, her, and them. Because at least I know with him, her, and them, you're happy. You getting how you want to live. But what do I know? Meanwhile, Shawnee married a gay pastor. They gonna be married until Shawnee becomes the #1 drug dealer in America, or they just gonna be married forever because he's good with money. Married 22 years and walked away. You got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do, but you also got to pay attention to the signs before you. And sometimes you don't need, like I said, no license. There was no guarantee that she married Hill and Mike. There was no guarantee she married Mike and lived happily ever after. There was no guarantee because we knew in watching the show that he wasn't worth the time. We knew when we watched her marry Peter that Peter wasn't going to be worth the time, or that they were unequally yoked. But what she did, got down by that dinosaur body and got married. Married him, divorced him 2 years later, or whatever. I have lovers. I let them go, and I say goodbye. Period. And Tracy Ellis Ross screws the boys, okay? She was dating Akon's brother for a good while, getting it done, okay? And I love that. Because you want to know why? She's still working. She ain't sitting somewhere waiting for somebody to call her to be a girlfriend, to be a wife, playing the dance. So that's an alpha woman raised by the Supreme. You know what I'm saying? literally and figuratively. That's how it should be. There's nothing wrong with that. Freedom is free, supposedly. I have lettuce. Freedom comes at a price, but it's the price that you're willing to pay. Let's take Tracy Ellis, for example, who has all the freedom in the world. Do you not think she don't want to have? Sure, she might not want to say. Do you not think that she wants? But after laying with somebody, do you not find the comfort in that? That's the price that you pay for freedom. You know what I'm saying? And also, I agree with what she said. It's like, I would love to be in a relationship, but if it adds something to my life, I'm not being in a relationship just for the sake of being in a relationship, because this person may feel like they need to be in one and they put forth this effort, and then I'm locked into a situation because this person put forth this effort. No, we go come together and not we need to be some big power couple and But I have a long day. You understand a long day. You've done these things. I understand your life. I do these things, and we work together to make each other happier. Work together should make our life better. She's looking for a partner, and that's what the thing is. See, there it is. Stay together for the sake of the kids. And, I should start with saying it depends on how you played it. You know what I'm saying? Lakeisha, hey, Laquisha, hey, welcome. If you play the dynamic, it's about how you play it. Miserable and arguing and things like that is not good for the kids. That's you don't understand that until after the fact. So staying together for the sake of the kids is not a scapegoat. It's not a reason. It's not the be all end all. But if you guys are copacetic and kind, cordial, and you know what I'm saying, things like that, cool and adult, that's fine, whatever. Especially, things are tied up or whatever the case may be. But by no means should you put yourself through hell for the sake of some kids that will only benefit more from seeing you happy and progressive. Because kids adjust. Yeah, it's two houses. Yeah, whatever. The kids adjust to that two house shit. Kids adjust to them 2 Christmases and the 2 birthdays. They adjust to that real quick, real good. And when they see parents happy, they become better adults. And they treat people better because they see people being treated the way they need to be treated. Fabulous. Blessed, and that's why I said too in my video when Giselle was on Ashley, like, divorce is nasty. Every divorce is not nasty. Every divorce don't have to be terrifying and traumatic, and every divorce is not like that. People agree to disagree. People understand each other. They understand themselves. Conscious uncoupling, amicable split. It's happened. It's happened. That's why they named it that. People have done it. People do it all the time. In 22 years, you waited to that until that acceptance letter came in. Akima, hey, welcome. Nor the cheat. Right. It's not always about the cheating either. But what do I know? And it's a slow one. It's a slow lane. And I just really, you want the best for Giselle. Honestly, people just want the best for Giselle because she's attractive. If Giselle wasn't attractive, people would hate her. And then people do still. But if she wasn't attractive, she wouldn't be on the show because it wouldn't be appealing. This behavior, unpleasant, and unpleasant on the eyes. People would not be here for that. And I think that's just the truth of the matter. I don't terribly, hey, I don't terribly, like I'm not so put off by Giselle, but I think, she takes a lot of things for granted. But like I said before, she's a great mother, and I love to see that. And and that's what the girls see in her, or whatever. I don't know. But if Giselle didn't have those eyes, because it ain't about the hair now. Although in that ponytail, it's fine. I don't know why she wear them wigs. And the reason, thank you for the share. The reason um I'm on this wig is because Ashley is at BravoCon, at least for Watch What Happens Live. She was at BravoCon with the same wig Giselle got, plucked to the guys. Looked like I want to say it looked like it was growing out her scalp, but it was laid nicely. Giselle was at BravoCon in the same tire wig. The same tire wig. Girl, you about to be in front of these people. I don't mind Giselle, but Giselle messy as hell. And I mean, to been messy when she did that thing with when Karen was going through that stuff with taxes, messy then. When she got on Monique, when Monique first came to the thing, messy then. In every step of the way, she's doing something messy. Now she's projecting on Ashley and trying to turn Chris into some creep. Listen, Candace, when Candace pulled that man into that bathroom, got up from Giselle, and that just had to have been real. Because Candace, I mean, somebody needed an Oscar or Emmy for that moment. When she got up and she said, let me find Steve or whatever his name is, and pulled him in that bathroom. Hey, Christy. Yes, here I am talking to the people, talking to my people, talking to the family. Pulled him into that bathroom. She said, we will not malign my husband. I love that word, malign. We will not malign my husband when ass grabbing, whatever his name is available. That was, like I said, the best thing Candace has ever done on that show. The best thing, to defend her husband like that. So maybe think they might last. But it was so good to see her defend him that way. And I don't like this storyline because Chris don't do nothing for nobody. Like Candace said, she said when you come over and he cooks for y'all, when he says nice things, when he sees y'all and he considers y'all sisters, my same husband, that Chris. Yes, that's why you come on for the loop. That's why y'all come on in. But that was the best. That was the best. That was the best. And Chris, I'm sure, made mad passionate love to her yesterday. Depending on where they at, who knows? Who knows? They might have been fighting. And he probably could care less that she said such nice things. But that was beautiful for her because I don't know what, especially for Giselle, because Robin shut it down at the dinner, okay, at the little luncheon, and you still, I don't even know how you felt like that was relevant to what y'all was doing. Look, well, Robin got everybody's back. And that's just being a down ass, which Robin is. And that's why Juan been with her, because Robin is a down ass. Solid, as I say. Do I think Michael Darby is gay? I will say sure, because I think, like I said, if Nelly's gay, Michael Darby's gay. But what I think more than anything is that Michael Darby is white. And white guys, Australian, especially foreign white guys, Dutch, the rugby players, the English, even white guys in America, that whole bromance thing gets real touchy-feely, okay? Gets real hunky-dory, They do that. It's just a cultural thing. It's just how they are. How far it goes, we don't know, but we know from Ashley that they have a very active lifestyle. It is what it is. And I don't have no more to say to it because Ashley's all right with that. What the question is, is there anything Michael does that's so gonna surprise Ashley or Ashley don't? No. I'm pretty sure, because I'm sure with them being, especially with Ashley being fluid, they have conversations about them girls. You know what I'm saying? And of all of them, Robin is probably the most attractive one. Especially now, because I love Robin in that red hair, and she's confident. I can imagine how she is outside of the show. Just meet up with her. But together, her and Juan, child. So of course they have those conversations, and maybe Michael says something like, even eyed. You know what I'm saying? Maybe something like that. And Ashley's, laugh it off because she's young, collecting checks and securing the bag. But like I said, even fluid, she's also not judgmental. Like, oh my God, my man might like a man. That's not going to come out of Ashley's mouth. Like she said at the thing, when Giselle said, "Well, didn't he cheat?" Not anymore, not recently, which was nice. Like I said, Ashley looked real dumb leaving him, just for putting up with all that, to then have kids because, granted, the contingency in your the contingency in your prenup was 5 years, and then you know what I'm saying. The money there's no cap on the money. You could have stuck it out, prolonged it, and maybe I don't want to say uh, a miscarriage, here or there to keep him, through. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Did you catch that? That sort of thing to keep him on to then leave. But you don't put up with all that, man. Have 2 kids by him. Start at the top at the beginning. You know what I mean? Because he got these babies now. They're not 13, 14, 15. They get the babies. To then run out and have your way in the streets. And whatever she's doing right now, hey BZ, welcome, come on, join on in. And whatever she's doing right now, Michael don't care. Because if Ashley can influence one of those guys to come in and join the party down there in DC and the mansion on the hill, the mansion in the sky, everybody's happy because Michael likes the fluidity. But we'll see. Maybe I'll eat my words. I don't know. But like I said, I don't see her leaving him. Like, why would you leave him? Michael's money not going nowhere. He's still going to be rich. You're going to get a house and want to subject a new man to these kids. And you know Michael's not going anywhere because he's the reason you got the kids. So why would you add all that stress to yourself? And Ashley's young, but Ashley not dumb at all. I want to know maybe Ashley need to write a book too. Because where she learned everything that she learned, does she know? I don't know. I would like to know. I would like to talk to Ashley. Me and Ashley the same damn age. Shit. I need to get to DC or something. Or down to live Miami. That's where Lisa Milan found her man. I'm all right with life as long as everything is how it need to be. Let me just throw that out into the ether. But yeah. Where am I going? What else I got to say? The pageant life, yeah. She is poised. Yeah. But and then too, I think her being open, just fluid, not like, oh, I only like black guys, that sort of thing, which I'm not talking down, but I'm just saying she opened herself up to that. You know what I mean? I don't think she closed, or at least where she is right now, it don't look like she closed off many things that was too particular about things. Like when Nicki Minaj asked her what was attractive. Thank you so much. I just be running my mouth. Nicki Minaj asked her what is attractive. His sense of humor, and maybe she like older guys. I mean, I like older guys. You know what I mean? So you don't know. Nikki, you don't even like guys. So for her to be like, what attracted you to him? Had to been his money. Girl, the nerve of her. DC, I know I've been telling you, See Unique and Brenna, I've been saying for the past since I watched Scandal back, which was a couple weeks ago. I rewatched the season. Would then enjoy Miami together. So that's what I got to do. I've been saying I need to get to DC. I just want to experience DC. It's been a I wasn't even old enough to do. I was with the school. It was a school trip when I went to DC. I need to go and get into the things. But I like that idea of grabbing them in DC, then go and enjoy our time down in Miami. It's coming. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But that's just what that is. Imagine me in the next season of Potomac, okay? The next season. I still got a chance. The night is still young, as Nikki said. The season is, at least. In Silver Spring. Thank you. I got to write. Listen, when I do get me a good travel in, I'm definitely gonna be on. I'm gonna let y'all know where I plan on going. Not when I'm going there, because I'm gonna let you know where I plan on going. Not when I'm going, because people is crazy. But the people have. I mean, I got friends and family all over. They want me to come out to Cali, down in New Orleans, down in Chicago, down to over in London. TikTok is it's a lot of people in the family. Okay. No, it's nothing wrong with an older man, older woman. Not well. It depends. It depends on the type of person you are. I'm an old soul, so I've always appreciated somebody older, somebody that could teach me something, show me something, somebody who I'm learning from, somebody who is a bit more mature. And granted, there's no age on maturity, but you're better pickings of mature candidates when you look towards a higher age, and that's always been my kind of thing. But yeah, right near Northwest DC. Casey Madlock, hey, welcome to the fam. I keep saying, because listen, I've been on and everybody is just coming, it's just bringing in new people, and I'm so thankful, so thankful. In my commentary, I really gotta start figuring this, because a little y'all are coming in from smoking, and we at the kitchen table just talking after dinner, and now people is coming in from outside. Lingo for Mardi Gras, that would be nice. That's coming up. I was in New Orleans for in 2012, excuse me, just 10 years ago, for Essence Fest. That was great. Love that. Bourbon Street was lit and popping. I had got my life on bourbon, okay? And then one of the security guards, as we was leaving the dome, she was saying how Mardi Gras, she was just telling us to be careful and don't trust everybody and get a fanny pack. There was a guy on TikTok that said he worked on Allen down over in Virginia. I got to get to Virginia. Virginia is where I fell in love with the beach. Where I fell in love with the beach. Okay, so what y'all said, northwest DC. Ashley, you would think from looking at her mother, but there was another influence. Granted, her mother probably liked white guys or didn't mind. She probably didn't have no restriction on who she liked either. But her mother was on, you know? So there was somebody else to keep Ashley cute and right. Granted, that was like maybe her uncles and stuff like that, maybe her aunts or whatever. Obviously, not 100% that Uncle Flip, Uncle Skip, or whatever. But there was somebody else in Ashley's corner that refined that thing. Because Ashley, like I said, Ashley is my age. We 34. And she, you know what I'm saying? She's not just some housewife. Natasha, hey girl. Happy Monday. 420 is lit in DC. That's cool. Yes, yes. Support the channel. Greatly appreciate that. Y'all keep saying no one. Yeah, like I said, I've been thinking about it for about a good month now. So when I finally do plan the trip, I'll be on here telling me, having y'all give me a list of places and things to do. Be me a first gentleman or something. You never know. You never know. Support the channel with the Cash App handle, the gifts too, like y'all been doing. See, well, you got that new page though. Is that what that is? They don't know. They don't know that algorithm yet. Her etiquette coach from the pageant world. That's, yeah. I mean, and that's definitely what it is. That's definitely what it is. And rigorous with it too, because she's still like the way they was dancing at that thing, and even when she was just on Watch What Happens Live, you know, the way she stands, the way she walks, the way she carries herself. She really took to that. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. I've always liked Ashley. I never had a. I did think what she did with Monique, but that was just her relationship with Monique. Ashley has a relationship with everybody, and that was her relationship with Monique and Candace. I mean, Candace don't really. She don't really. I'll say she don't lock you in that first time, or during the first encounter. So you don't really care about no loyalty to Candace, because Candace done got on your nerves, you know. So I kind of get that, but I've always liked Ashley. Oh, well, what does he do? Because I know them producers make some money. Or the girls themselves don't make money. Well, I mean, honestly, all of them is new, so ain't nobody making no big bucks but Candy over there. I'm sure they didn't have to pay Sheree too much to come back. Kenya just, as long as the checks is coming in, I think Kenya be all right. Yes. The girls, yeah, like I said. And what they paying me, Candy, they said, listen, this is what we paying Candy, because Candy is, I don't see the show without Candy either. That's why they just need to switch all that stuff up. Because if Candy go, I mean, who got money on there? And then if Kenya goes, who's stirring the pot? You know, so they just need to shake it all up. But it's like, listen, Candy's on here. She's not doing for less than this. And everybody respects Candy because Candy's that girl in the A. And they say, all right, just because they all want to be. But Kenya wants to be on TV. If Kenya were to be on Ultimate Housewives, Ex-Wives, which she will be in another year or so, she would be devastated. She'll be devastated because she ain't doing nothing now. Kenya could be doing. I don't follow Kenya, so I don't know. But it's, you know, Kenya Borough hair care. She whatever type of clothing, something she could. Kenya don't do nothing as far as I'm concerned. Besides Kenya Moore hair care, she ain't put out no programs. She ain't put out no workout CDs. She ain't found no man. She don't have no line of kids, nothing. She don't have no cookware. Me and Kenya got the same cookware set. Do she got the baseboards yet? I mean, what have you done? What have you done? So she'd be devastated if the show go. Drew would be too. I'm sure Drew loved to be on that show. I would love to know who they even asked. I just saw Kimora, because they're talking about trying to get her on Beverly Hills, which I would love to see. In this setting, I don't know, but I would love to see Kimora on Beverly Hills. And she was saying how I don't know because the girls go low, and if they want to go low, I go low. I'm supposed to go high, so I don't know. But I could see her, Kimora, Garcelle, I don't see Kathy Hilton in there, but I like to see Kathy Hilton as a hoop and a riot. And I don't know who else they would do. Denise Richards. I just don't. I don't. I don't know. I don't know. She should definitely be on Candy's level. She should be popping on all. She should be firing on all cylinders because she done been around all the people. She done been around all the people. She breathed the same air as Whitney Houston for a scene. You know, Marlon Wayans. You didn't make that much of an impact. He didn't put you in no other movies. You wasn't in White Chicks. You could have been in White Chicks. She wasn't in White Chicks. But they do like white chicks. So maybe that's it. But also too, I don't think as we talk about Kenya, Nene being graceful amongst um, producers and things like that, I don't think Kenya is as graceful um, because she thinks she knows something. But even so, you ain't produced no little. Yeah, Erica got to go. Erica got to go, and it's funny to think. It's sad to think that she was cool when she was quiet because Tom was keeping her quiet or whatever. Because I liked Erica in the beginning. You know, she gave. You know, she gave what the show needed. But now she's full of charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. And that that I'm over it. And it's not even so much how she feel about the people. That's a factor. But just overall, she has left a terrible taste on this whole season. And even now afterwards, her at the damn BravoCon and just mm-mm. Like I'm all about people living their lives, but well, I'm having a lot of sex. Who cares? Who's screwing? You've been screwing, and maybe you screw old men like Marlo do. All right, sure, but who cares? And who even wants you? You've been screwing the devil. Like what? Like I'm over it. I'm over most of the girls in Beverly Hills. Sad to say, if it weren't for Garcelle, I would have been. If it weren't for Garcelle and Sutton, I would have been done when they brought Garcelle and Sutton on. Because Crystal, child, I thought sure she wasn't gonna come back after that first season. I thought my vibes and my telepathy was strong enough to will her off that program, but apparently it wasn't. Um, when if she would come on the show and be a strong Asian woman with a very successful white man, if she would come on and do that and do the things and be an authentic cook and not need your nannies to show you how to make meals, I would love that for her. I would love that for me because I could consume that. But that's not what I'm getting with Crystal. I'm getting some fragile, confused Asian woman who thinks she could play the white woman victim. That's my truth. No, 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 honey. That's not you can't use that. You can't use that. And I'm not here for it. Jackie G, hey, welcome. And yeah, I'm just not here for it. I'm just not here for it. You don't got no see-through kitchen like Yolanda. You don't have no see-through fridge like Yolanda. You don't have no successful daughters like Yolanda. And let me tell you this, because Kanye brought up Amelia Gray on Drink Champs. And Kanye bringing up Amelia Gray on Drink Champs just lets me know how involved them girls is. At least Amelia, who's the lighter haired one. Um, if Amelia is on a first name basis with Kanye, they've all obviously been in the same room several times, which makes sense that Lisa Rinna would get on there and say, "I want to try 818." Kathy would be upset because her allegiance has shifted, and for Rinna, and also too for Rinna to secure this good hair, because Rinna's hair You can say a lot about Rena, but you can't say nothing about that hair. It's doing something every time. And I don't know if you don't like it, I don't know exactly what you're looking at. But Rena's hair is doing something every time. So you got Chris Appleton or somebody over there to put that hair together like that with this new allegiance, and for her to look the way that she looked at that reunion. It's all making sense to me. As soon as Kanye said Amelia Gray, I was like, that's it right there. What kind of bump? It is something weird about her husband, but I expect that from him. If he's, if he's the creative type, weird, reserved, you know what I mean? I just want to sit down and I want to write. I want to sip my, smoke my cigars. I mean, I get that, and that's fine. But both of y'all is beta. It's boring as hell. And where's the intimacy? Because as he sits and tries to console you, he either never does that to you, which is a problem, or you don't feel comfortable enough to confide in him like that, which is a problem. So now y'all are. This is a matter of, and I don't want to sit and watch no shit. I don't care about Crystal enough to watch her get divorced, which she probably not. Man's not going to divorce her. But I don't care enough to even see. Yes. 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 Now, what kind of bump are you talking about, Papa? What kind of bump? Like I said, Kanye is not palatable to a lot of people. Kanye speaks, and what the DJ Effin said it perfectly. He didn't say it direct as this, but he said it perfectly. I'm paraphrasing. You lack eloquence and explanation in your statements. You say things with no preface, you know what I mean? And then continue to carry on with your statement. Now it takes somebody to, and this is what I'll say, and this is what he said. This is what he said too. Okay, hold on. When Kanye talks, you have to know who Kanye's talking about to understand what Kanye's saying. When he says Virgil Abloh, when he says Amelia Gray, when he says, the guy's name. Hold on, y'all know I'll be having my notes. When he says these people's names, hold on, because I'm gonna give you. Y'all know I got my receipts. When he says Rob Weiss, Scooter Braun, when he says, hold on. I know this. Oh, here we go. Dove Cheney. When he says Ralph, you have to know who those people are to understand what Kanye's saying. You know what I mean? And that's how Kanye talks. And that's what I'm saying about Kanye is Kanye's a Gemini, so we come from many places. He is a black Christian male. He's a black male. Kanye is a black Christian male. Kanye is an extremely creative black Christian male. Kanye is an extremely creative, wealthy, black, Christian, successful male. Kanye is a wealthy, black, Christian, successful male with a God complex. He is many things. And when he talks, the fact that he can even be in an interview, I said all this earlier, the fact that he can eat with the bump, when he gets into these interviews to even sit but a lot of things are repetitious, but a lot of his points are repetitious to this point, is that for him to even try to put all that together and answer somebody's questions and he's thinking about Virgil, and he's thinking about Gap, and he's thinking about Kim, and he's thinking about his kids, and he's thinking about that. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, too, Kanye is a black Christian, successful, wealthy black male father with a God complex, and a woman who he loved caught up in the matrix. That's where Kanye's coming from. And if you don't get that, if you don't want to take the time to understand that, then you'll never understand Kanye. He will always sound crazy. The biggest thing I took away from that last thing is that Kanye, not a misogynist, because that means whatever about women, but the whole, that relationship that he has with women is probably the creepiest thing about Kanye for me. But that's no different than everybody that we see. Any successful male that you see treats and acts the same way towards women. And the thing with Kanye is that he's in our face with it, which, whether you want to respect or appreciate the fact that it's in your face, and you understand how and when and why, or how, for that matter, it is what it is. You don't have to second guess it. You don't have to wonder about it. White lives matter. He said it according to his end. White lives matter, first of all, because they do, but because my wife is white. And I fuck with my wife before I fuck with any one of you. That's what he said at the end of the interview, after having Deuce and maybe a blunt and a half. And that's okay if she ate the groceries. People up there, they doing that. Because this is what we're doing. We're not doing basic missionary position and a way to, people doing things, okay? They don't have nothing to do with nothing. But for him to say that, it's like, this is what y'all are not getting. And y'all are on me about this shirt. And nobody said anything when them Kardashians kidnapped my kids in the middle of the goddamn day. Nobody said anything. But y'all mad I have on a White Lives Matter shirt. White lives obviously matter because my wife and her mother kidnapped my kids in the middle of the day and nobody said anything. Now, Kanye, what I know about Kanye is that now he just invested in Candace Owens' husband's business, which I think is strange. But at the same time, in that same episode, Kanye talked about how he buys these girls' houses. So I just need Kanye to find me somewhere because he just got money to blow and give. Well, not like she had an agenda. She definitely has an agenda. That's the thing. Hey, babe, Latish, hey. Kanye. When Kanye says Jared Kushner, and if you have no idea who a Kushner is, you have no idea what the hell Kanye's saying. And hopefully I'm looking up something, because I'd hate to be looking up something and there's nothing there. What about a bump on his face? A bump on his face. Where did you see this at? Is it on his forehead? Is that why he's wearing this? It's probably dirty. Probably got a pimple from wearing these hats. No, they don't highlight. And one of the things he kept driving home on the drink champs was the Jews. Between him saying the Jews and trying to cheers DJ effing the whole damn time, I was completely annoyed. I had reached my max of the repetition. But that's what it is. That's what it is. So Kanye is for Kanye. Kanye is for Kanye. And that's for Kanye with the God complex, the father, and the successful, wealthy black man. But Kanye, the black Christian father as well, speaks to people, speaks to the culture, and Kanye the influential, all that, those parts, that's who speaks to the culture. And being influential, integral part of the hip hop culture, and a trendsetter and all those things. That is, he rides both the waves. Like in the same thing where he was saying, I lived in the stadium because whatever, you know what I mean? I wanted to make people feel some type of way. But when I meet a girl, I buy her a house. When I meet a girl, I immediately take her overseas and I get her the exclusive shit that she can't get over in America. You know, he rides the fence. Not that he rides the fence, but he's both these things. And I think what Kanye does is he what he wants to do that would really make the people that don't understand would appreciate and understand him more. Those are the things they limit. And what they do in turn is try to make him look crazy. I by no means do think that Kanye is so crazy, especially as things go on and things start to connect. But that's that. That's that. Yeah, but I mean, ultimately, you have to understand who he's referring to even understand why he feels the way he feels. And that, like I told a friend of mine, no, Kanye is not normal. Like we just said about Crystal's husband, don't seem normal. Successful, wrote The Lion King. You know what I'm saying? And then all the Kanye's references, the Einsteins, the Jobs, the Musks, the things like that. You know what I'm saying? He aligns himself with people who were absolutely not normal compared to whatever people think normal is, but were integral parts in the world and the things that we have before us today. Everybody who's on the radio today is influenced by Kanye West in some degree. No, he's not. No, he's not. No. And like I said, with all that on his mind, these are the many things that run through his head and what he's thinking about at one time. And when you try to silence me, when you try to call me crazy, it hurts my feelings. I'm sure it does. People try to call me crazy. People try to call me a stalker when I'm simply just trying to be in contact with my kids. But if I wear a White Lives Matter shirt, the people are up in arms. And whether the people will be up in arms or not, is his thing is the media, the news pushes that image in a negative way. Mostly they push everything negative. But the fact that everything that he does outside of what is being portrayed on the media is such a blessing, or such a great thing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, the music, fashion, you know what I mean? From being the vehicle for Virgil to be the head of Louis Vuitton, and for Kim to step into rooms that, like Marlo said, I'm into rooms before, whatever, that sort of thing. Because of Kanye West. Even Amber Rose, to have the platform that she has, she screwed many, many people before she got with Kanye West. But it's because of Kanye West and that Ludacris video that we know the Amber Rose before us today. Sandra Riles, hey, welcome. So that sort of thing. Yeah, I defend Kanye because, like I said, you got to understand what he's saying. And every time I watch him in Drink Champs, I'm always listening for the name, which is the credibility. Because if he just got on there talking in circles, first of all, if he talked in more riddles, it would be even worse. So thank God he says the names, because then I can place things down. And you also understand his level of relationship and how he still is a product of the environment of the successful, wealthy, influential Kanye part of him. Also too with the God complex. When he says Paul Arnault, John Arnault, Michael Arnault, people probably have no idea who the hell that Arnault man is. But Kanye speaks about the things that he does, but at the same time gives love, like he says with Kris Jenner too. Kris Jenner, crazy, cancer, whatever, this, that, and the third. But I love Kris. You know what I mean? So he's this, that and the third, because at the end of the day, Kanye's just, I mean, his toe not on the line. Kanye got one good foot on that line, okay? And he's still just enough on the other side of safety. But like I said, I told a friend of mine too, they took Kanye out, and then Kanye, a lot of things I just told my friend the day before about Kanye got that interview and said it. But that's just me. Welcome, London Kelly here. But the people said if they were to kill Kanye now, it would be an uproar because there's many people, just like the Donald Trump thing, Donald Trump done wrong and stupid in the media and this, that, and the third. But y'all realized and knew that he had so many other greater supporters out there. People feel that same way about Kanye. Whatever that news portray him and how people think that they feel about him wearing a White Lives Matter shirt, it's Kanye West stands out here. Not to say that I'm one of them, because I don't rise up for nobody but myself and my immediate surroundings. But there are people out there waiting for a reason. And then when it's all this conversation about it, when it's somebody like me breaking it down, or somebody who experienced the same thing, or whatever the case may be, you take Kanye West out, that just proves everything he's fucking saying. He was calling for them to kill him. He was calling for them to kill him in that the first time he was on there. Calling more for him to kill him this time. Checking behind his back and stuff like that. He was a little paranoid. But I think they shoot it on the ground floor, whatever floor they in Miami, which is not smart considering the type of people that they have on there. But what do I know? But yeah. Calling for the people. Kanye, it would be that I tell you this would validate everything that I know and what I've seen. That some Kanye West end up dead somewhere. I'll tell you that much. But they look crazy doing that. It brings too much attention to, I mean, everybody. I mean, it'd be hard to nail it down because he says what he says about a lot of people. But the fact of the matter is, he would be silenced. But at the same time, like I told my friend, then Kanye said it out of his mouth too. I said they talk about Kanye, but they draw so much from him that they would do themselves a disservice losing an asset like that. What he said, like Quad said, I'm Frank Sinatra. Like Quad said, I'm Frank Sinatra. Kanye said, I'm the Michael Jackson. So we gotta wait for Kanye to turn. I think Michael was what, 49? He was just about to be 50, or he just turned 50. And Kanye got 5 years. You know, it's insightful, it's entertaining and insightful information over here at the Kelly Collective. That's all I got to give. How long have I been on? I got to get out of here, you guys. So much love and support. Don't forget to support the channel, the Cash App, through the gifts. It keeps it going. It makes it all better for you. Also keeps the bills paid over here. Today is Monday. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the week. Take it by the balls, okay? And you make this week your own. You do what you got to do to give it all you got to give it. Hey, Courtney Land. For the new folks in here, I go live often. You know, it used to be 3 times a week. Now it could be 5, sometimes it's 6. Yes, Courtney, you're late. I'm sorry. But I am going to check out the bump. But I thank you guys for tuning in and vibing out, covering, we covered many, many things from Housewives to Kanye West. And we'll do it all again. Maybe I'll come on tomorrow. Definitely be on Wednesday. But I will surely see you sooner rather than later.